countdown.
Were you, or were you not, on a gay cruise?
No, you're 120% dick fit.
Everybody that age, they're sperminator.
Yeah.
Because we don't care about anything else. We're a walking hard on looking for a hole.
That's. I have to say you're right on that one. Oh, my God.
A stiff breeze comes through the room and you return the favor.
Got her in. Oh. Somewhere on the outside of this building, there is a hole where squirrels come in.
Better than a hole where dicks come in.
Yeah, better than that.
Going down the stairs to wash the laundry. What the hell? Shh. Pizza. Stop! Stop it now! I order you to stop! I'm still touching myself.
Yeah!
All young bitches want to do is pop pills, smoke weed, get drunk, lay around, suck dick, eat hot Cheetos, charge they phone, get a sew and weave, twerk, be bisexual, eat McDonald's, wash they pussy in the sink, lie, take selfies, and talk shit through Wi-Fi because they phone never on.
I think washing they pussy in the sink is my favorite part. The Vietnamese trade in dongs. Figuratively and literally, I'm sure.
Oh, my God, that's hilarious.
I did decide to look it up. 500,000 dongs is a good night for Pop's ex.
Like most women, he's an emotional thinker.
Good God.
I mean, that's part of the problem we're having now in our society is we have a bunch of emotional thinkers that want the world to, to fall in line with their emotions. That's not... look, reality doesn't give a shit about emotions.
It's my lived truth. Fuck your lived truth.
No, it's not. It's your perspective.
Kiss my ass.
Literally like, hey, Sergeant Pop, you got to turn your bear suit. I'm like, over my dead body. No. Just give me a statement of charges. Yeah. You're never getting this back. Yeah. You can suck it.
I'm going to wear this with my Russian coat.
you will bury me in this. Hey! Why you gotta fucking be like that, man?
Because I'm an asshole, and I learned from the best. I'm sitting across from him, and I'm pointing at you with all four fingers.
All right, first of all, the Russian jacket is World War II surplus.
I'll send you a picture of it, Sarge.
Yeah, okay.
I got you standing wearing it with holding two giant buckets like you just collected all the chum from behind the dump dumpster at the bar, and you're going to go home and make ice cream out of it.
What's up, savages? All right. Today we're going to be covering the floods that just took place in Texas. Now, we've heard all about the conspiracy theories, about the chemtrails, the cloud seeding. We've heard congressional testimony in regards to this kind of stuff, and a lot of people think it's still a conspiracy. Well, from what I am picking up about the flash floods in Texas that happened, they were not really forecasted as accurately as they were supposed to be. Now, do we actually know that's the case? 100%? No. Do I think it was mainly an act of God? Yes. But this is why you come here, because you want to hear shit that you're not going to really hear in the mainstream. And we're going to dissect it just to get to maybe a happy medium. Now, a lot of children passed away during the flash flood, and we are seeing exactly how much hate the progressives and the left have for this country, and as you, as a melanin challenged individual. Now, there has been doctors that have been fired. There's been individuals that have been, thrown off of boards. And quite frankly, if this country is ever going to actually heal from the craziness that has been taking place since, I would dare say, towards the beginning of Obama and the second Bush to today, we're going to have to figure out a way to get beyond this craziness, because this rhetoric is not going to take us anywhere good. We've been there before, between 1860 and 1865. Most other countries at some point deal with a two-way rifle range, and it causes wounds and pain that goes on for generations. So let's hope that doesn't happen here. But we got Battle Dwarf on station, and we're going to start digging into this.
First of all, you mentioned the hate thing. You and I were talking about that beforehand. I saw that on Twitter. I got suspended for 7 days on Twitter, by the way, for mentioning that Mayor Karen Bass of Los Angeles, who is a known communist who spent years in Cuba with the Castro family, because I said she's a communist. I'm with the Castro family, which are all facts. And I said, you belong in prison or facing a gallows. And Twitter immediately suspended me for 7 days. So now you are no longer allowed to question certain officials in certain governments on Twitter.
No, stand by. I think the mentioning of the gallows thing was probably what did.
No, I have mentioned gallows before. I never directly mentioned anybody swinging from a gallows or anything like that. I have used gallows in other contexts before. The second I used it with Karen Bass, whap.
I might actually have to give that a go.
If you've got a throwaway Twitter account, give that a try and see what happens. Anyway, so these evil shitbags, these stains, these oxygen thieves that need to eject from their meat suits. I captured one of the tweets before. Twitter actually did remove this account, but this is one of the charmers here. She's an aura therapist in California by the name of Cindy Steinberg. And she says, and I quote, "Fuck these white kids. I'm glad there are a few less colonizers in the world now, and I don't care whose bootlicking fragile ego that offends. White kids are just future fascists. We need more floods in these inbred sundown towns." And that was like, there were a lot of those.
And do you have that person's name, or has their
Cindy
account?
Steinberg. Her name and face is up there. She doesn't even begin to try to hide herself at all, but her Twitter account was removed. I think that was a bridge too far. Everybody piled on her for that one. And then this evening, her Twitter account was no longer there. I was going to use her for reference in the show. But in the meantime, let's get to where we are now, because we've got Texas flood live updates. This is the most recent one that I was able to find. Oops, I am on the wrong screen here. Let's go over here. Button pushing monkey, save us all. Texas flood live updates. Death toll rises to 109, 161 missing in devastation. Now, again, just like the floods that we saw in North Carolina, these numbers are probably only the numbers that they have for people who are accounted for. That is to say, on the rosters at the camp. God bless all those little girls. I hope they find at least some of them.
Yeah.
Rosters at schools or employment rosters, what have you. This does not account for Joe Smith hiking with a 6-pack in his backpack that day down by the river, or Bobby and Susie going to neck under the tree by the riverbank, or
old guy
whatever.
fishing.
Or old guy fishing. Yeah, exactly. So these are the official numbers. You always have to remember this in floods. It's ugly, man. More than 100 people are confirmed dead and at least 160 missing as search and rescue operations in central Texas entered a fifth day Tuesday after heavy rainfall overwhelmed the Guadalupe River. Now, I looked this up. These rivers, they have a history of flash floods. There's a couple of Western movies that act from like the 60s. Remember all the Western movies in the 60s?
Yeah.
There's a couple of movies there. I recall them as a kid where pivotal scenes revolved around flash floods. I have to track those movies down. There's a fun task for you guys out in the audience. Track down the Westerns with the flash flood scenes. These are not new. The problem with this one is it came out of nowhere. And there is considerable evidence that it wasn't quite as natural as it should have been. So the death roll rose to 109, including at least 27 children and counselors from Camp Mystic, a storied Christian girls camp in Kerr County, where flooding hit the hardest beginning July 4th. At least 30 children were among those killed in the county. That's terrifying for those families. That is heartbreaking, and my heart goes out to all of those families, genuinely.
God damn, that's just vicious.
My little girl, who just moved to the other side of the Rocky Mountains today, she went to summer camp for 5 years when she was little. And if something like this happened there, I don't know what I would do. I don't know what I would have done. The last live rescue was made on Friday, said Jonathan Lamb with Kerrville Police Department. The chances of finding survivors dwindle as time passes. It's always a terrifying. If you've ever been in an event like this, I have, and I actually found some footage from the one that I was in. I'm going to show that in a second. It's terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying. The one in Korea, I'm actually going to
stand by. Like, I watched some of the videos, and when they say it was a flash flood, they are not joking.
I have the time-lapse one. I'm going to show you what I went through. I was standing in this spot during these events. Let me show you this one here. We'll go boop and say pop. This is Camp Casey in Korea. This is right on the DMZ.
And you can see all the old video cameras.
Yeah, this is 1998. This was an organized, that's 5.5 artillery, Divardi. Look at the Quonset huts just crushed.
Yeah.
This was an army camp. It was clean and organized.
Not anymore.
Yeah, that's the devastation in the army camp. Let's see if I can find some. You can see the devastation in the camp there, and then an officer's briefing. I'm going to stop that one. I've got one more from the Korean perspective. This is from AP News at that time.
Rainfall has fallen over the weekend. Hardest hit were towns north of Seoul. The deadly torrential rains have claimed the lives of 10 people.
That's some of the towns in the upland.
Rescue workers in
I watched rivers rise 100 feet, and I saw a village erased in front of me.
American troops stationed in South Korea have also
holy shit
in the flood-stricken area. to wait for help on top of their
Oh, look, a
submerged
Humvee stuck in the road.
officials and locals are worried
Been there,
that
done
human
that.
loss and property damage could rise. Weathermen have
Yeah.
forecast more rain in the area.
So that what you're looking at is after the rains. That is after. It rained sideways for 5 days. And I saw a refrigerator thrown through 3 walls by the force of the floods. And a whole bunch of other stuff. I saw a village erased from the side of a mountain in front of us. We were going to the village to evacuate them. And the side of the mountain, all the mountains in Korea are fault block granite. It just erased the village right in front of us. We're like,
Wow.
oh my God. So this is the Texas flash flood now in stop motion, or in basically fast forward. What do you call that?
All right. Yeah.
Time lapse.
Time lapse.
Watch this. This is how fast this happens.
Holy shit. Yep. I'm going to be honest. If they have less than 300 people dead, I'll be surprised.
Yeah. Now, that is the level of destruction that I saw in Korea. I was standing there. Point being, I can tell you firsthand that what's going on there is absolutely fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
It is nerve-wracking. You don't know if the side of the mountain's going to come off and wash you away. You don't know if the riverbank is going to give under your feet. I'm standing in the first video I showed you of the 2nd Infantry area of operations.
Uh-huh.
We're standing at Camp Red Cloud. I'm standing there with the command sergeant major. I was General Denny Klein's eyes and ears for civil affairs at the time. And they sent me up into the area because I was from there to begin with. And I'm standing with the command sergeant major of 2nd Infantry Division. We're watching the river just go washing by. We're standing there with cups of coffee because we don't know what to do because of the devastation. And this cow floats by and goes, moo. And we looked at the cow, and the sergeant major and I looked at each other, looked at the cow, looked back at each other. Okay, we need to go get more coffee. This is going to be a long fucking day.
Yep. Yep.
Let's come over here.
But the thing is,
Go ahead.
You know, I looked at some of the weather reports. There was supposed to be rain, but not
That's
flash flood rain.
Exactly. It was the intensity of this storm that got people asking questions.
Yeah.
It was absolutely the intensity of the storm that got people asking questions. And I mean, I'm just going to keep repeating as we're going along here, having been through something like this, dude, when you see it, you can't believe what you're seeing.
Getting bigger, and it was going up to, we have bunk beds in our cabins, and it was going up to the top bunk, and we had one choice, and we had to swim out of our cabins.
Brave little fuckers.
Campers from Camp La Junta lucky to be alive this morning after they say they had to swim out of their cabins during flash floods in Kirk County. That camp just a few miles up the Guadalupe River from Camp Mystic. That's where more than 20 campers are still missing this morning. Thanks for waking up with us on this Saturday, July 5th.
You are unnecessary. And yeah, you saw the levels in that video. That's the same kind of thing that I experienced. Those little guys are brave as fuck.
Well, I mean,
they're clearly good swimmers.
Well, you don't have any choice. Like,
no, I don't. I understand. I understand that you don't have any choice.
Yeah.
But they're still brave as hell. They chose to swim and try instead of trying to hang on to something, which is most people's reaction. Most people try to hang on to something, and then that gets washed away, and they get crushed between that thing and whatever else that the water slams them against.
Yeah.
The water goes up so fast. It doesn't look real because you're standing on what's a road, and the next thing you know, you've got to find high ground, and I mean 30, 40 feet up. Because a couple minutes, and it's all the way up on top of you.
Yeah,
let's see. I'm going to scroll past the little reporter there. Nobody needs that. And we're going to go back to this video and watch some of what's going on. Night operations in a flood like this Fuck that noise.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
because you can't see objects coming at you in moving water.
I got
It's by the time you see it, it's way too late.
Kerr County, but other counties near the San Antonio area. This is new video here you're looking at out of
Just
Spring
like that.
Branch, Texas. That's in Comal County. Storms rolled through those areas again around 2 this morning, with more rain expected later today. At last check, more than 230 people in Kerr County have been rescued and evacuated. The death toll is now up to
That'll
24.
totally kill you.
Efforts continued throughout the night to find more than 20 missing girls from Camp Mystic.
Now, here's the thing. See all that debris? When you've got a body of water of that size, as the debris piles along the edge, and the water will push it aside, it'll pile up. And what it does is create a funnel. And that funnel creates a rapids. Now that water, the force of it is exponential. It goes up 2 times, 4 times, 8 times.
Yeah.
So the more debris piles up, the stronger that funnel becomes, the more damage it does downstream. And water doesn't care what you think.
Along the Guadalupe River, those floodwaters rose more than 20 feet in the span of 2 hours.
Yep.
And just before we came on the air, we learned a director for a different camp near the Guadalupe River died in those floods. Heart of the Hills is a girls' camp in Hunt, Texas.
Okay, that's our heart goes out to everybody who died in this, but we're not here to cover every individual death at the time. I get it. We want to focus more on the storm, but let's see where we are here. They want to find every missing person no matter what, and I get that, but you're not going to. You're not going to. But here's some of the rescue operations that are going. Watch
One North
this.
Texas family says they are lucky to know their child is alive. Our Teresa Woodward
Right
spoke
there.
to them.
We did a
moments
lot
before
of
they
that
left to
during the
reunite
Korea
with her.
operation.
Yeah.
And she wasn't even supposed to be at this session.
I spoke.
Thank God she was saved. You know.
Yeah, I don't want to hear any. I don't see anybody crying and shit.
Yeah, that's not what we're here for tonight. Like we said, our heart goes out to these families genuinely. But the helicopter operations like that, we did a ton of that during the following 2 weeks. There were people trapped on mountains. There were people trapped in Korea has a lot of tunnels. Some guy managed to make it to a ventilation shaft in one of the larger mountain freeway tunnel underpasses.
Really?
And the guys from 17th Aviation hovered a Chinook over the shaft, pulled the shaft, two guys down, sent rescue swimmers down, pulled the lid off of the shaft, and got a line down to the guy, and he managed to tie himself off. And they pulled him out of the mountain shaft, and it looked like somebody was pulling earwax out of the world's biggest ear when they pulled the guy out. But that dude was lucky as hell.
Yeah.
Let's see, where are we next here? There's just so much of this stuff, but let's jump right in, because did you hear about the blue rain thing?
Yeah. I've seen
rained.
videos of that.
Yeah.
It's like toilet water rain.
Yeah. Yep. Toilet bowl cleaner rain. Let's touch on that. That's how Texas became a petri dish for weather warfare. They told you it was just pollen. They smiled into the camera, shrugged their bureaucratic shoulders, and insisted everything was normal. Meanwhile, the Texas sky was drizzling neon blue rain like a science fiction fever dream, and entire towns were disappearing under floods. But nothing to see here, folks. Move along. Let's be clear, this isn't a fluke of nature. That's absolutely true. The problem is, though, nobody wants to talk about the unintended, or in some cases, fully intended side effects. When you keep cranking up artificial precipitation year after year, you destabilize natural cycles. The Earth is a biosphere. We were taught this when we were kids.
Yeah.
It's got its own rhythms and everything. It needs to do what it does. But it's profitable. and it makes water-hungry industries happy, so the state cuts more checks and lets private contractors treat the atmosphere like an ATM. Now, I don't know about down where you are in Detroit, but out here in farm country in the Thumb, we had regular patterns, and I've been logging it. Wait for it. You'll recognize this guy here. Yeah. Oh, it's green. You can't see it on the thing.
You can't see it.
Yeah, you know why? Because it's the Standard Army Journal. It's the big one there. I'll do the dimensions. You can see, but
it's magic.
Yeah. I've been logging all of this the whole time. And about approximately 2 months ago, we had crisscross patterns in our sky all the time. And it was obvious that these were chemtrails. I mean, it was just painfully obvious that that's what it was. And about 2 months ago, it just stopped.
Well, I mean, here's the thing about the chemtrails, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've been hearing stuff since the 70s about the chemtrails. And up until
we've all known about cloud seeding.
Oh, hang on. Up until the late 90s, they're like, oh, no, that's there's no chemtrails. There's none of that. No, that's not happening. It's just a total conspiracy. But it's really happening.
Yeah.
There are companies that get paid to seed clouds to try to make it rain.
Well, that's what this article covers. Now, what are they spraying? Let's get something straight. Cloud seeding is real. We all know that. Not a theory, not an urban legend, not your drunk uncle's Facebook rant. I mean, we've known about cloud seeding since the 70s, at least. Texas has been seeding clouds since the Eisenhower era. That's about 1953, for those of you who don't know when the Eisenhower era was. With ever-escalating ambition, planes and ground-based generators spew silver iodide, barium, and other metallic compounds into the sky, supposedly to help by bringing more rain out of the sky. They don't talk about how these chemicals accumulate in the environment, how tinkering with the storm systems can shove natural rainfall patterns into chaos. Because acknowledging that would mean admitting they've been playing God with the weather and failing spectacularly. But then the blue rain fell. People in Houston, Dallas, and a half dozen smaller towns posted videos showing cars, driveways, and yards splattered in an otherworldly blue residue. Some local reporters tried to spin this as an early spring pollen event. Never mind that pollen doesn't dye rainwater cobalt blue and doesn't show up overnight across hundreds of square miles with no precedent. Others mumbled about industrial emissions, but no major chemical release was ever confirmed, and the state's environmental agencies quietly slunk back into their cubicles rather than test the samples and release results. We have a woman here in Michigan, in my county, who was a soil tester. Whenever you need a new septic system, whenever you need wells, you have to have the soil tested. You know what I'm talking about?
It's what's a perk test or whatever,
something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, she does that, and she started noticing chemicals in the soil that weren't supposed to be there. So she started independently testing those chemicals and discovered that they fell under all of the chemtrail patterns listed for the state of Michigan. And she's got a huge report on it. But this article that we're looking at right now makes the point that these bureaucrats don't care. And I've been saying this for some time now. We don't have a federal government anymore. We have a foreign enemy state parasitic entity that is feeding off of the United States, profiting off of us, and flooding our country with God knows what. And this is one of the things that it's doing.
And another thing that could be making it even worse is HARP.
Now, I don't know enough about the HARP program. I know it did exist. I don't know if it still does exist. There's a lot of speculation and theory about it. But in this particular case, what we're talking about tonight, there's no doubting it anymore. It is not possible to doubt it anymore because they've admitted to it. And, well, we had blue rain everywhere. So Funny how the same government that can track every illegal chicken coop and tax-dodging hairdresser can never quite produce lab data when it involves spraying aerosol and sky chemicals, which is a really good point. But here's what was leaked out anyway. Private labs that analyzed the blue rain found elevated metals, barium, strontium, and aluminum, all which can cause cancer. Elements frequently associated with weather modification programs, not that any of the officials dared to utter these words into a microphone. While the public was distracted by the spectacle, contractors kept right on flying sorties paid by your tax dollars, never mind the collateral damage. And when the floods arrived, the narrative pivoted smoothly from denial to spin. It's all global warming, all random bad luck, all out of human hands. And then catastrophe hit in the morning of July 4th when everyone was tucked peacefully into their beds. The floodgates of hell swung wide open. I wonder where I got the title for the show tonight.
Yeah.
Overnight, 10 to 12 inches of rain pummeled Kerr County, Texas. Radar estimates up to 13 inches in rural stretches, while furious cells dumped at rates of 3 to 6 inches per hour, with some gauges catching 6 inches in just an hour. Now, that's a lot of rain. Standing by.
2014, in Berkeley, Michigan, we got 7 or 8 inches of rain.
That's what she said.
30-minute or 40-minute period.
Yeah.
And the basement in the house that I have in Berkeley was flooded. It was like 10 inches deep down there.
Wow.
Yeah, I had to fire up like 2 different pumps to get the water out.
Get bilge pumps and pump it into the yard?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't even have a bilge pump. I had 2 old pool filter pumps that I had to monkey rig to make them work.
A bilge pump, but yeah. Yep.
But yeah,
that's crazy.
There was so much water coming up from the sewer system that
I mean, you and I lived in and around Berkeley for a long time. I've never seen rain like that there.
No, the sewer lids washed off and were 6 feet away in the grass.
What the hell?
That's how much pressure was coming from underneath.
That is a lot of pressure. Their lines weren't designed to hold that kind of pressure.
Oh no,
the city is very lucky something didn't cave in. Did anything cave in?
I think so. There was a lot of digging after that.
Wow.
Excuse me. Allergies.
I'd say bless you, but we all know that's not going to help you.
Yeah, it's not going to help me.
Yeah. We're both definitely getting the walkthrough at least. at a minimum. The Guadalupe River, usually a calm ribbon, became a rampaging beast. It surged 22 feet in 3 hours, cresting near 29 feet, its second highest level ever recorded. Now, the Han River in Korea that I showed you, because of the structure of the mountains with those deep fault mountains, the Han River rose 100 feet in the same amount of time. In Comfort, Texas, the river shot 27 feet in just 45 minutes. Yep, that's how fast it can go. And there's nothing you can do about it when it does that. At Camp Mystic near Hunt, it heaved 26 to 30 feet in under an hour, obliterating cabins, campgrounds, power lines before anyone had a chance to process the wall of water bearing down. It moves that fast. On July 4th, the day the skies unleashed the most violent downpour the hill country had ever seen in decades, Texas communities were caught unprepared. A storm system spun off tropical moisture from a dying cyclone, feeding it into a swirling vortex over central Texas that rained down 1 trillion gallons in a matter of hours. Wow. It was fast, loud, and lethal. Now, here's the part that nobody with a soul can gloss over. At Camp Mystic, a youth summer camp for girls, a raging wall of water smashed through the river. At last count, 27 people died, including at least 9 children, little girls whose only mistake was showing up for camp.
Oh, my God.
Dozens more are missing and feared dead. Their faces aren't props in a press conference. They are the price of an unrestrained experiment. As rescue teams comb the wreckage, some of the same agencies responsible for the Chemical Sky Show continue to issue dry, sanitized statements about unprecedented weather events. Now, it is my personal opinion that if any of these events can be tied to any of the activities of these individuals in these private companies, that's mass murder and attempted mass murder, period. I don't care what your excuse is.
I agree with you.
It is
because from the weather reports that I So no, I didn't see them. I didn't look at all of them, but they're projecting 3 to 5 inches, which is manageable.
3 to 5 inches is, I mean, we get that on a fairly routine basis here in the thumb. That's not that big of a deal. It's not fun. I don't like it, but at least it's manageable. So here's the thing. We're talking about these chemtrails and all of this stuff, and we all know a lot of our viewers out there love to follow the latest conspiracy theory du jour. I'm one myself. I like to dig into that stuff, find out what's going on.
Same here.
But we've been told for years by the government and everybody else that chemtrails is just a conspiracy theory. Well, there's a little problem with that because the state of Texas has just announced that Texas floods after mysterious blue rain linked to 7 state-run cloud seeding programs covering 31 million acres.
Wow.
So you've been spraying us with chemicals. I have a question. Why the fuck are we tolerating these people? That's my question.
This is fucking insane.
This is absolutely. Why are we tolerating these people? Texas just got hit with a flood surge. It's turning heads and raising questions. What's catching attention isn't just the destruction, it's the color. Blue rain fell across parts of the state. These articles reinforce one another, which is why I bothered to read the stuff we've already covered. Fell across the state in weeks leading up to the July floods. In western Texas, the Panhandle, and parts of South Texas reported rain with a bluish tint. That's not folklore, that's documented, and now 7 state-run cloud seeding programs are under the microscope. Chemtrails are just a conspiracy theory.
You know what? I'm sick and tired of hearing people say that shit to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I have seen too much crazy shit.
Me too.
To sit there and go, oh yeah, it's just a conspiracy. I'm like, well, I mean, I was on the ground for some pretty big muscle movements in Iraq in 2004.
Yeah.
And what was coming out over the news, I'm like, that is not
at all what's happening. I had that happen several times myself in various places.
And if they could do it for shit like that,
it's
even easier when they attach a conspiracy to it.
Yeah, we came very close to a second Korean War in 2000. Very, very, very close. I can't go into any more detail than that. But the media was immediately fed the PR to cover it up, and we were told to shut up. That happens. Everybody laughs at MI. Everybody laughs at military intelligence. Oh, you guys are a bunch of jokers. You don't know what you're doing. Most of the time, and I mean this very strongly, most of the time we're told to shut up. We are not allowed to report beyond our reporting level any of the stuff that we learned. And consequently, we have to watch the news and sit there quietly and suck it up because we're under an NDA that could put us in a federal prison for a period of time as we watch lie after lie wash across your screen, and you read those lies and you can tell that they're lies, but you don't know what the truth is because we can't tell you or we go to prison. That's how it really works.
You'll get hammered.
Yeah, that's how it really works. So, there's a lot of stuff out there that I'm sure that's happening with this stuff too, with the weather modification programs. I'll bet you pilots and techs and chemists are all under NDAs. If you talk about this, you get your freaking free federal orange jumpsuit and prison loaf for the next 20 years.
If there's a criminal investigation, the NDAs don't really hold water.
It depends on whether or not the government office involved can successfully bury and or conceal that behind star chamber bullshit.
If you get subpoenaed into court and you're testifying, the NDA doesn't mean shit. I mean, that's the way that works.
Yes and no.
All right.
Basically, you're going to get fucked by the civil dick or the military dick.
The streams will cross.
You are getting fucked.
Never cross the streams.
Yeah. Absolutely. You are getting fucked. You just have to choose which dick you want to get fucked with.
You'll just get both.
You could get both. You
You'll
could get yes. You very well could get both. It's not pretty.
With whatever alphabet agency's high-fiving over you.
That's exactly correct. That's a terrifying image. That's absolutely terrifying imagery.
I'm sorry.
I keep trying to modify the StreamYard screen window, and that's not helping anybody at all. Let me get rid of some of these other windows that we have already gone through. Because that helps. Yeah, that speeds up the reaction time, memory, and all of that. The state's history with weather modification goes back decades. During the 1950s drought, Texans tried everything from explosive balloons to dry ice. By 1967, the legislature passed a law to regulate weather modification. How'd that work out for you? Federal and state money poured into research. By the 90s, Texas launched a coordinated cloud seeding program. Today, 7 active projects cover 31 million acres. That's 1/6 of the state's landmass. For those of you who are unaware, ha ha ha, Texas is a big place. That's a lot of land. Aircraft equipped with silver iodide flares target convective clouds. The goal is simple: to make it rain. And you can see here, Texas floods after blue rain. 7 state-run cloud seeding programs exposed. And it just goes on and on.
That's the video that they actually show a tarp that has the blue rain in it.
Yeah. Let's see if that.
Hey, we're camping in this
Look at that
beautiful
shit.
state
That's toilet water
in Texas, and it's been raining, and the water that's coming out of the sky is blue, and it's not this tarp because it's happening on this tarp too. Look at that. This is crazy. Are they chemtrailing us in Texas?
Yep.
That's exactly what's going on, bub.
That's exactly, yeah.
And it just goes on and on and on and on. And of course, they want to blame it on climate change. Central Kirk County, up to 10 inches of rain inundated the area, causing Guadalupe River to swell and overflow its banks. Hard to tell what this image means by itself. You need to be able to zoom out, watch the storm track. Not helpful like that here. The problem here is scale. When you seed clouds over 31 million acres, you're not nudging nature, you're steering it. And when the rain turns blue, people start asking what's in the mix. Silver iodide is the primary agent. It's used because its crystal structure mimics ice, but it's not the only compound. Some programs use sodium chloride, which can be used to poison a person.
Yeah.
Others use liquid propane. Liquid propane, that's a good idea. The chemical dispersants vary. The oversight does not. The July floods killed 24 people. Dozens are missing. Entire towns were submerged. The rainfall totals broke records in 3 counties. Meteorologists say the storm system was amplified by unusually dense cloud formations. I wonder how those got there. Those same were seeded earlier. The timing is tight.
Actually, what they do is they'll wait till something develops, and then they fly through it and seed it to make it even more, to magnify it.
So what are the chemtrail crisscross patterns in our skies all about then?
Yeah.
Because I want to know what those are doing.
Well, here's the thing here in Michigan. You get a lot of clouds that form via lake effect. And and then they could just magnify those.
Theory, they're using the chemtrails to steer or deflect the clouds to go in a direction that they want them to go. That's just a theory. It's like fire breaks. You light a fire to make a fire go a direction. In wildfire fighting, they'll dig ditches and then they'll light fires on one side of that ditch, which causes the fire to go in another direction and hopefully control it. I wonder if they're using a similar tactic with cloud seeding. I don't know.
Well, we need to get somebody who's actually has experience with this.
Yeah, exactly. I am not a chemtrailologist, but it's a theory.
Yeah, somebody in the comments said it's blue raspberry water. Yeah.
Well, at least it's not purple drank. Am I racist? Am I going to hell?
Yeah, I think we're there.
Yeah. So let's see what FEMA has in store for everyone. This is the incident period of March 26th to March 28th. Severe storms and flooding. They've already had some. Let's see here. You can apply for disaster assistance, get immediate help. I applied for assistance. What's next? Well, we had a FEMA guy on, remember? And I know he passed away. Heard about that.
Yeah.
But he said one of the big problems that FEMA has is people like us keep getting in the way and won't let them help, which I find extremely hard to believe, especially in areas like Appalachia where people are prone to help each other out.
Well,
and
here's
Texas,
another thing.
where people are prone to help each other out.
Like if you show up there with supplies, they will confiscate your supplies, right?
Yes,
and send
we
you
saw
on your
that.
way. And then they will use those supplies to give out, and then they charge the government for those supplies that they stole from you.
I didn't know about the charging the government part. I could see how it would take their overhead down considerably, but I didn't know about charging the government. That's
Listen,
interesting.
Whenever there's a war or a travesty or something like that, people swoop in to make money. The best way to do it is to gouge and double charge.
You're absolutely correct. On a sidebarish related note, for those of you who have not heard of General Smedley Butler, he was in World War I and a bunch of actions prior to that. Yes, he gave a speech called War is a Racket, and it is in book form. I highly recommend you read that or watch his speech on YouTube.
He actually wrote a book about it.
Correct. He wrote War is a Racket. But if you haven't listened to the speech or read the book, you need to. Somebody in the comments says FEMA was a money laundry. Yeah, I agree. I 110% agree. And much like North Carolina, I haven't seen much about FEMA getting into that area at all.
Well, okay.
So far.
Now, I have never actually seen a number of actual missing and dead from North Carolina. I've never seen the final numbers. All right.
No, that quietly went away.
And then there's a whole bunch of individuals that are in those foothills, mountains, and what have you.
Yeah.
Who never even saw anything from FEMA.
Yeah.
None of that aid made it to them. If they wanted to get any aid at all, they had to come down to get it.
Yeah,
and
they had to come out of the mountains.
Do it. Yeah.
Where they could be processed and registered and everything by government agencies.
And then they could build a government. Yeah.
A lot of those people who live in those mountains don't want anything to do with the government. For a lot of really good reasons. I don't blame them. So, interestingly, did I share that tab?
All right, let's talk about HARP real quick.
What about HARP?
Well, what that does,
I don't know anything about HARP.
Is they use a radio frequency and they usually go straight up into the stratosphere and cause the atmosphere to bulge, causing a high pressure system.
That doesn't sound like a good idea.
And typically when a high pressure system is moving, and then when it hits a low pressure system, it forms clouds and will usually kick off some type of weather event.
Theoretically, what if they accidentally ruptured the atmosphere? Would it repair itself, do you think? Or would we just have a very suddenly bad day?
I don't know. I don't want to know.
Yeah. That seems like something I don't want anybody doing. That has all the hallmarks of leave that the fuck alone.
Yes. You are correct. Though I will say this, they have found in some of the permafrost that goes back 15, 16,000 years.
Right.
They have found a bunch of fauna that was flash frozen.
Oh,
So
that's not great.
the only way that happens is
Mhm.
if they do rupture the atmosphere
Yeah.
and the cold of space comes down
Mhm.
to ground level.
Because now we're talking Kelvin,
Yeah, we're
which is
talking
like minus 431 degrees or something insane like that.
it's pretty bad.
No,
And
I
we're
don't think you
talking-
could deflate the atmosphere like a balloon, William Crane. I'm just speculating and shooting things off into the air. Just
I know,
theories, man. Just theories.
But here's the thing, though. All right, we had another person in the chat saying that blue water could have been from a porta shitter that got blown
No.
into the atmosphere.
This was all over the place. This was over miles.
Yeah. Now I have seen porta shitters, get blown into the air in Yakima, usually from a shit hook that flew over or a CH was it 53?
We were doing an exercise and happened to be sitting with a bunch of you guys because we work alongside you yahoos with our radios. And one of you 18 Bravos, hey, you want to see something really cool? Got some non-dairy creamer and firecrackers together and blew a porta shitter up in front of us, which was pretty funny.
Yeah, well, you got to have skills, man.
Yeah, one of the majors was not thrilled that a porta shitter was detonated, but nobody said anything. So, what the fuck happened over here? We don't know, sir. It just blew up.
Methane.
Must have been a methane buildup.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've seen you guys do that. Exactly one time, but I've seen it done.
No, but I have seen the porta shitters go into the air. And I mean, a porta shitter has maybe somewhere between 2 and 5 gallons of that blue stuff in it.
It's about 5 gallons, yeah.
But that's not gonna. I mean, if you blow that into the air and it gets atomized,
I'm not gonna do that.
You cover miles and miles. with
That
blue
5
water.
gallons is already that color.
Yeah.
There's no way you're going to get an aerosol dispersal of that and produce miles and miles of that color of rain. That's from something.
Yeah.
So, meanwhile, back in Kansas, we have. Okay, there we go. Breaking federal agencies paid a private cloud seeding company to spray Texas skies just 2 days before deadly floods killed, it's 109 plus now. No public comment, no oversight, no accountability. Call it weather modification, call it a conspiracy, but it's happening. Excuse me. Briefing and actions on the following West Texas Weather Modification Association topics. Consider and take action to approve the agreement for cloud seeding professional services between Rainmaker Technology Corporation and WTWMA West Texas Weather Management
What's
members.
That? West Texas
Weather Management.
Hang on, I'm gonna.
Consistent with WTWMA interlocal participation agreement and current program financial assessment. Who are these ass clowns at Rainmaker Technology Corporation? We need to dig into that. I think maybe we need to do a hi, you guys, we see you.
Well, it's saying here the West Texas Weather Modification Association. There's a whole association for it.
Yeah.
It's an operational cloud seeding program that operates over 6 million acres of land in West Texas. Is to enhance rainfall in convective thunderstorms to help increase dry land crop revenues, decrease groundwater consumption. Okay. Huh.
My guess is it's a couple of rich guys sitting on a board raking in kickbacks from companies like Rainmaker Technology Corporation.
Yep.
That would be my first guess.
Look, I literally just did a simple search for West Texas Weather Management. The AI came up with, with its little 2 or 3 paragraphs.
Yeah.
This is an actual thing.
Here it is, right here. This is in the meeting notes
Weather
for
Modification Association. This is not conspiracy theory.
Yeah,
this is actually fucking happening.
Let me show you who these people are. This is the Plateau Underground Water Conservation and Supply District, El Dorado, Texas 76936. This is their meeting minutes from a regular meeting. Okay. Chances are you've got an organization, something like this, somewhere where you are. And it is a safe bet that they all contract with these same kinds of companies because they get kickbacks from them. Rainmaker is a company that is currently providing rain enhancement in the California, Idaho, there you go, California, Idaho, Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, and Jordan. They will be conducting research to further improve rain enhancement, provide meteorological services, flight and seating tracking, in addition to using electrostatic seating. After discussion of the benefits of contracting with Rainmaker, a motion was made by Bob Buckholtz to approve the agreement with Rainmaker. Carrie Joy seconded, and the motion carried. So there's two names, Bob Buckholtz and Carrie Joy. So, yeah, we need to start tracking these organizations down and holding them accountable, because it is obvious what's going on here. These people, they enjoy their profit. They don't care how they get it. And they will just do whatever they can to keep those shekels rolling in.
Yeah, see, I want to know exactly how much tax dollars they're getting.
Yeah, probably a substantial amount. You know, it'd be really nice if we could sick Data Republican on this. She's really good at this stuff. I wonder if she has already.
Data Republican?
She is a female on Twitter. She's deaf. But she is one of the most adept natural analysts I have ever seen. I am impressed with her work. I would hire her if I could.
Okay. Well, let's track her down on Twitter and ask her.
I'm currently suspended for a week.
Oh, well, then I'll do it myself.
That happens. What are you going to do? Let's try this one here. This is
Twitter on this computer right here, actually.
Okay. Yeah, Data Republican. Track her down. Standing by. Use of weather manipulation tools stokes geopolitical tensions. This is from the World Economic Forum, no less. And these are some of the most evil people in existence to begin with. I'm curious what they have to say. Standing by.
I have Data Republican small r. I have
that's her
mom of Data Republican.
That's her mother.
Then I have Data Republicans.
Plural.
Nope,
it's the first one. It's the first one.
Small r.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see if we can get a message to her.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
I will have to phrase it as an actual mission. Should you choose to accept it?
Oh, yeah. Are you going to write in pop? Do I have to unfuck it?
No, I'll be fine.
Okay. You think you can handle this one?
Yes.
Yeah. Interesting. Hey, somebody says your audio is at like a 2. You might want to touch the soundboard there, see if you're should be the first standing by.
Blah 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 blah. All right, hopefully that's better.
Okay.
Blah 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 blah.
Okay, where were we before shit got weird? Oh, right. The WEF, use of weather manipulation tools stokes geopolitical tensions. Weather manipulation tools such as cloud seeding to induce or suppress rain are not new, but deploying them at scale is becoming easier and more affordable. As the impact of climate-related changes in weather patterns intensifies, the climate-related changes. The incentives to turn to technological fixes will increase in affected areas. Think of governments trying to manage simultaneous declines in rainfall and increases in water demand. We know one of the things that the WF likes to do is create artificial water shortages in order to get people under its thrall. This was used heavily in Africa. Aside from the potential environmental consequences, at the time of increasing geopolitical intentions, even well-intentioned weather manipulation might be viewed as hostile. It's hostile. Stop touching the weather. I'm not touching myself. Perceptions would be paramount. A neighboring state might see large-scale cloud seeding as theft of rain or the reason for a drought. Cloud seeding planes might be viewed as dual-use tools for espionage. I'm going to go out on a limb and say I guarantee you they are. Hostile uses are prohibited, but it cannot be ruled out. For example, weather manipulation tools could be used to disrupt a neighbor's agriculture or military planning. I will also say I will bet that's going on. And if states decided unilaterally to use more radical geoengineering technologies, it could trigger dramatic climate disruptions. Now, on those points where I said I believe that's what's going on, or I can guarantee you that what's going on, this is my conjecture based on what I know, and if I had assets like that, what I would do with them. If I had the ability to manipulate your weather and swamp your armor, or cause a drought over your crops or something like that, well, it's war. I'm going to do it.
Well, here's the thing. China has been getting hammered with floods for the past 5-6 years.
I think they might have been conducting experiments in their own airspace.
Yeah.
And because they don't care about their people. They know they've got billions of people. They don't care about their people at all. That is the hallmark, that is the signature dance move of a communist government.
You mean
the population? Yeah.
The feminists?
Yeah. The population is just tools and assets and parts. They do not think of you as people at all. And that's just the way that it is.
Yep.
So as technologies evolve and deployment increases, increased transparency about who is using what and why would help limit destabilizing ambiguity. So too would active discussion and collaboration on environmental vulnerabilities, both bilaterally between bordering states and on wider regional and global multilateral platforms. Now, this coming from the World Economic Forum, I can tell you right now, this is part of an analysis of how they can weaponize weather platforms like what this guy is talking about.
Let's just be honest. Okay. Yeah, they're going to dress it up like, well, we can help feed the world and we can put water in drought areas.
Yeah.
But what they're not telling you is because we are evil hairless monkeys, we will fucking weaponize it so we can kill yet more evil hairless monkeys.
That is correct.
Because we're so fucking good at it.
Uh-huh. Now, here's the thing. After this week of all the revelations of chemtrails, watch this. Wikipedia still has it listed from Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. Chemtrail redirects here for cloud trails emitted by aircraft. See contrail. For harmful chemicals emitted by aircraft. See environmental impact of aviation. For attempts to influence weather with aircraft, see cloud seeding. For use of aircraft to apply pesticides, see crop dusting. For the Beck song, see chemtrails song. An Airbus A340's engines leave a water condensation trail, a contrail, miniature clouds formed by the engine exhaust. No. And here's how you can tell the difference. A contrail leaves a trail behind the plane, yes, that looks similar to this, but it follows the plane and it dissipates. Chemtrails do not do that. Now, the chemtrail conspiracy theory is the erroneous belief that long-lasting condensation trails left in the sky by high-flying aircraft are actually chemtrails consisting of chemical or biological agents sprayed for nefarious purposes undisclosed to the general public. Believers in this conspiracy theory say that while normal contrails disappear relatively quickly, which they do, contrails that linger must contain additional substances. They're not contrails that linger, it's chemtrails. Those who subscribe to the theory speculate that the purpose of the chemical release may be solar radiation management, weather modification, psychological manipulation, human population control, biological or chemical warfare. It's absolutely chemical warfare. You're spraying chemicals over an area, or testing of biological or chemical agents on a population, also very possible. And the trails are causing respiratory illnesses and other health problems.
All right, no, hang on.
Oh,
right.
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
So this isn't the first time we've had alphabet agencies testing shit on our own population.
Mm-hmm.
They have done this before.
Yep.
And they will do it again because they get away with it and nobody does shit.
I told you, we have a woman here doing the testing. She has all the data. She's got like years of data that proves that anywhere you see one of these chemtrails, there is chemicals on the ground that don't belong there. There's minerals on the ground. There's metals on the ground that don't belong there. And it's always under these trails. She's been tracking it for years, and she knows what she's doing. She does soil samples. The claim has been dismissed by I love this reference here. It's always the same reference. The claim has been dismissed by the scientific community.
All right.
There is no evidence that purported chemtrails differ from normal water-based contrails routinely left by high-flying aircraft under certain atmospheric conditions.
Suck a dick. Hang on. All right. So
bullshit.
The CIA, along with other U.S. military and government agencies, conducted a series of chemical and biological tests along the coast of the United States during the Cold War era.
Yes,
One
they did.
notable example is Operation Stingray, which took place in 1950 when the U.S. Navy, in collaboration with the Army Chemical Corps, released Seriata marcosinus, a bacillus, some kind of bacteria, from a ship off of the coast of San Francisco.
Yeah.
They've already done this.
Yes.
To a certain extent, starting in 1950.
Yeah.
This is not a conspiracy fucking theory. They're literally doing shit like this on the regular. And all I did was do a simple search, CIA chemical test off coast of USA. And you can read it all for yourself. All right.
You done?
I'm done. I'm sorry.
You good?
Yeah. I went off on a tangent there.
No, I go off on these two, man. This is
this
is exactly what I said. I don't think we have a federal government anymore. I think we have a foreign enemy entity that is a parasite. And our federal government died sometime back in the late 1940s. That's my personal belief. Because they don't do anything at all to improve our situation. They threw us a freaking cookie today when TSA announced that you don't have to take your shoes off in the airport anymore.
Ooh.
Isn't that great? Don't you feel free? Fuck me.
Fuck all the way off.
Oh my God. Here's a whole bucket of offs for you to fuck. Because of the conspiracy theories, persistence, and questions about government involvement, scientists and government agencies around the world have repeatedly explained that these supposed chemtrails are, in fact, normal contrails. Of course they have. And then they show pictures of the damn things. That's not a normal flight path. See that there? Look at that. That's not a normal flight path.
It looks like a grid.
It is a grid.
Yeah. Wow.
How long they last depends upon the weather, especially the temperature, humidity, and wind speed. Bullshit. Chemical conspiracy theories began to circulate after the United States Air Force published a 1996 report about weather modification. In the late 90s, the USAF was accused of spraying the U.S. population with mysterious substances from aircraft, generating unusual contrail patterns. The theories were posted on internet forums by people including Richard Fink and William Thomas, and were both among many conspiracy theories popularized by late-night radio host Art Bell starting in 1999. As the chemtrail conspiracy theories spread, federal officials were flooded with angry calls and letters. How do you know that these conspiracy theories are true? Because Wikipedia is hammering it to death with scientists and experts and government officials. Nobody's ever named. No reports are never ever named. Nobody has ever come forward and shown any evidence that this is not true. And there's a ton of evidence that it is true. Again, like I said, there's a woman here who's got years of reports on it.
Yep.
So it's just freaking crazy. Now, right after that Wikipedia article, we go to this guy here. Oops. They're finally admitting chemtrails are real on the mainstream media. Cloud seeding missiles. Mark another conspiracy theory down as true. After telling you about chemtrails for years, and I didn't believe in them for quite a while, until I moved out here, and it was like, there's no way that's natural. There's no fucking way that's natural. And even creating the #1 chemtrails database on the internet, chemtrailsexposed.com. That's right, chemtrailsexposed.com. It looks like we've been proven right again. Take a look at this clip from the BBC where they speak about deploying cloud seeding missiles. What the ass? Okay, we kind of have to watch this one. Hang on.
Cloud seeding missiles.
Heat wave, and the authorities there decided to use cloud seeding missiles to bring around a storm. Now, I didn't even know that such a thing existed. Like, you know, I'm from Manchester. You know, I wish we'd had cloud seeding missiles to get to.
Can barely hear it.
But anyway,
apparently they're on the news. He says that cloud seeding missiles are a real thing. It's real. The volume is really low.
Yeah,
you can see here. I've got the volume up. They're British. They have problems with everything, especially their teeth.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here. I just did a search for pictures of chemtrail equipment.
Mm-hmm.
And there's pictures of chemtrail equipment.
Chemtrail equipment everywhere. Yeah. Why don't you throw one of those up?
Stand by.
I will remove mine for the moment.
All right, hang on. Let's see. Okay.
Oh.
Let me share it here.
Oh, we have another quality video as soon as you get yours up.
Stand by.
Can you get it up? Are you having trouble getting it up?
Why you gotta be like that, man?
Do you need some help getting it up?
No. Stop it.
Do you need some blue rainwater?
All right, I am sharing it. It's not showing up on the screen.
Yes, it is. Yes,
oh,
here it is.
But you know, I mean, there's pictures.
That looks like conspiracy theory to me. That all looks like conspiracy theory.
You think so?
To me, yeah. All of it. It's all conspiracy theory.
Yeah, 100%.
Has to be.
Yeah, I get it. Now, I'm not. Listen, I'm just telling you that this is happening. They've already talked about it. We're actually spending tax dollars.
Well, they're admitting it now. They're outright admitting it.
Yeah,
they're outright admitting it. It's way beyond the pale. I keep looking down because I've got a very itchy hand. I don't know if you can see this. I got poison oak last week, and the blisters are now finally
drying up,
and it's irritating the absolute ass out of me.
You're getting itchy.
If you've ever had poison oak, don't get fuck that.
Yep. And Demaster 12 says Wikipedia was disowned by its own creator all the way back in 2006.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been corrupted and taken over.
Yeah, it's been taken over by Chinese, CCP, Mossad, and some other choice groups.
Yeah.
Yep. So anyway, there we were, hip deep in soju caps. And I have to add that to the stage. That helps if I add that to the stage. This here is an Not that one. Steve, you idiot. Stop touching that. No homo. I meant this.
Okay.
There are currently 42 cloud seeding projects across the American West. They anticipate 200 more cloud seeders in the future, and the federal government has committed $2.6 million to seeding. Good morning, America. ABC.
Is that
Network.
million or billion?
Million. It is million. Hang on.
That's
There are currently 42 cloud seeding projects across the American West, like this one in Utah, where they take planes like this with flares attached. They fly right into the storm and send microscopic particles into the cloud. Particles that
Looks like
act
a
like
conspiracy
magnets
theory.
for water droplets, bonding together until they are heavy enough to fall to the ground as rain or snow.
And they're blue.
At the University of Colorado, researchers are working on artificial intelligence to deploy cloud seeding drones.
And it's not just cloud seeding from the sky.
That's what we
there
need.
are hundreds of those things. That shack you see in the foreground is a ground-based cloud seeder. The little flame coming out is sending tiny silver iodide particles up into the sky. When a storm comes through, they go up to 2,000 feet above our head, into the storm, up those mountains, and make more snow than it naturally would.
Okay, right off the bat, do you know how you can tell that this is a malevolent project with bad intentions?
How?
That bitch's happy voice.
Ah.
That is stock Bolshevik propaganda right there.
Drink!
First Bolshevik of the night. That's two, by the way. At any rate, she's so happy about this. This is so great. Isn't this fun? Golly gee, look at this, kids. Over and over. Go back through all of the stuff like this that we've ever watched all the way back when we were kids. You've got some happy voiced female voicing it over, just thrilled about it, and golly gee whiz, isn't this cool? Yeah. That is your first clue that this program has malevolent intent or is going to be used for malevolent intent. Somebody says the comforting voice lowers your guard. Dead bang on. Thanks, Shiva. I see you, dude.
Well, cloud seeding has been helping get every last drop out of some of the driest years on record. This past winter, Mother Nature came through. The Southern Rockies, which feed the Colorado River, got more than 4 times their average snow. But experts say it's still not enough. As much as cloud seeding is...
What did she just say?
It's not enough.
Who said that?
Yeah.
Anytime you hear experts say, scientists say, experts say, that
trust the science.
It's trust the science. It's absolute straight up propaganda. Somebody says NPR voice. You're right. It is NPR voice.
It's 100% bullshit.
Yep.
That's what you're saying.
A boost or a help. It's not a solution. The main solution is
conservation.
Cloud seeding is most successful in wet years, so this was a huge winter for them.
She hasn't had a wet year in about 3 years.
Unfortunately, that wet winter didn't help Los Angeles because they squandered that water.
Well, they had it all pouring into the sea. Pelosi and friends literally had that water running down from, and I've been up in the mountains above LA. I've been to Big Bear several times. This Big Bear's freaking beautiful, dude. Holy crap, is Big Bear nice. All the water that runs down from those mountains, they just funneled it right out into the sea.
Yep.
They're not trying to help. That is a lot of my point when I talk about foreign enemy entity. That is what is this from here? This is, does it have a, oh my God, that's 81 pages.
Yeah, we can't.
Well, we'll take a little look at it. We'll take a little look at it. Scientists excited about cloud seeding projects. Scientists excited about cloud seeding projects. Like other Western states, Wyoming is embarking on a cloud seeding project that aims to bolster mountain snowpack. Oh, look at that. Now Wyoming. But Wyoming's $8.8 million 5-year cloud seeding project goes beyond what other states are doing, not only because of size and scope, but because it could yield definitive proof whether cloud seeding actually works. I'm pretty sure they know that at this point.
Listen, okay, they started it in the 1950s, 1960s. They would have known within 10 years if it worked or if it didn't.
Yeah.
So
You're absolutely
we
correct.
know it works because they're still fucking doing it.
Yeah. So in a letter recently to Interior Secretary Gail Norton, representatives of the 7 states, Arizona, Colorado, California, Nevada, New Mexico, Utah, and Wyoming identified cloud seeding as a key component for dealing with or reverting future water shortages brought on by the strain of population growth in the West. Breed said most of the water in the West comes from the mountains, where the snowpack acts essentially like a reservoir. The Colorado River Basin, fed mainly by water from the mountains, is a major water supply for 7 states, but increasing demand for water is water managers fearing shortages in the future. People are being driven out of the big cities, but you can see from this article that this has been going on for a very long time, as has the lurking
monkey.
All
right, let me give the briefing.
Oh, give the briefing.
All right, everybody. As you know, we've been demonetized beyond all rhyme and reason. We're making pretty much 10% of what we were making back in the day when we're in our heydays between 2013 and 2016. Now, as you guys know, you've probably been unsubscribed from the channel multiple times. You're not getting notifications.
Yep.
We're getting creamed here. So any little bit you can send in helps us go help us go even further. We're up to 562 lives saved using comedy, logic, and reason. And there's really not a lot of other channels out there that are covering stuff as serious as we do, I think.
Or as grunt friendly.
Grunt adjacent. I like it.
Yeah. I jumped in at the exact moment you mentioned cloud seeding. And you mentioned the state of New Mexico in that briefing, correct?
Yeah.
Apparently there is widespread flash flooding going on in certain areas of New Mexico.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Yeah.
The water in the river rose 20 feet in 30 minutes or 30 feet in 20 minutes. One of those two.
Probably 30 to 20 minutes. Yep.
And do we happen to remember a certain event? Oh, I think it was last year in Dubai when they
You're a conspiracy theorist.
When they got a year's worth of rain after a couple days of what cloud seeding they did.
I think I have that article, but I don't recall putting it up. Do you have it?
I do not.
Which one? The Dubai one?
The Dubai one. I know I saw it in our things, but for this particular episode, I literally have close to 100 links.
Wow.
Let me see if I can search for it.
Already.
It was really easy to find.
Okay, this one comes.
I've got a reference to it, but not the article. Go for it, Jimmy. Let me.
Do that and share the screen. Now take this with about 16 metric tons of grain of salt because it comes from the BBC.
They accidentally do good reporting every once in a while. Or alternately, they add some good reporting in to cover up for all of their nefarious reporting.
Yeah. Well, I use the Brave browser to search for this one. If you search for Google, the first one comes up from the BBC says, oh, cloud seeding in Dubai, how it's not related to the historic rainfall. Sure. Right. But yeah, the city of Al Ain, just over 62 miles from Dubai, about 10 inches of rain was recorded in 24 hours.
Wow.
And they receive less than 3 inches in a year.
I've heard that story before.
That's not suspicious at all.
No. But yeah, I just
say annual rate in one day.
Yeah,
that happens all the time.
Yeah, I just happened to be scrolling through Twitter and saw that New Mexico is now getting flash flooding, and I was like, "Wait a second, this sounds familiar," and searched it up because I remembered the story, and I was like, "When did that happen in Dubai? Oh, that was last year." Yeah,
fascinating, Jim.
Let's not forget that the China is also cloud seeding. And how's their rainfall been going?
Yeah.
Pretty ugly, but like I mentioned earlier before you popped in, China doesn't care about their population at all. So it wouldn't bother them if they lost 1 million people. They wouldn't even bat an eyelash. And that sounds sinister and grim. That's because it is. So what is this here?
You have to remember that you're dealing with damn dirty commies over there in China.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So this page has a lot of clutter. It's called 100%effedup.com. I'm going to share this one and bring it onto Lowe's stage.
Wow.
There we go. Yeah, it's got a lot of garbage. I'll read through it. Cloud seeding, read chemtrails, now admitted and confirmed. This is from February of last year's. I've been telling you for a long time that chemtrails are real. Many of you are awake and you see it too, but there's always a vocal minority that wants to loudly argue with me. They're not. They're just contrails. You're so stupid. Nobody's spraying anything in the sky. Airplanes have always done this. It's just a normal condensation trail, so on and so forth. And now it's only being emitted fully exposed. Check out this new video from, wait for it, Jimmy, Dubai, where they proudly brag about their cloud seeding operations and even show you where the planes do the spraying. Watch this little gem.
Is it going to rain in Dubai today? Just so I know. I have to drive back from Abu Dhabi to Dubai.
No.
It's not raining. It's a sunny day. The UAE government invested more than $20 million in research to start a process called cloud seeding. The UAE performs around 1,000 hours of cloud seeding a year, and it's all controlled by this building in the National Center of Meteorology in Abu Dhabi, where they track the whole process. We met with a cloud seeding expert to explain how the seeding process works.
We wait the forecast. When we have a good, chance for a cloud, we send the aircraft to that location. Go under the cloud. In the first stage of the cloud, there is good updraft at that time. Start to release all the salt, and with the good updraft, of course, it will go inside the cloud. The droplets will become bigger and start to rain.
The center manufactures a salt substance that helps enhance rainfall. They put them in what they call flares.
Huh. How odd. I thought that we weren't doing any cloud seeding.
Yeah, it's a total conspiracy theory.
Yeah. Cloud seeding is indeed a real thing. It's weather modification. Yep.
Yeah.
Good Lord. And there's like I said earlier, we have close to 100 links that we could go through for this if we had los tiempo, but we don't. So I'm trying to go through the ones that matter. Oh, Jimmy, beating me to the click button.
Yeah, we can go on for like another 10 minutes or so, and then we have to hit super chats.
We could go for another 10 days with the amount of data we have, though.
Yeah,
unsubstantiated chemtrail conspiracy theories lead to legislation proposed in U.S. state houses. If nobody's chemtrailing anyone, why do we need laws preventing it? That's the strangest thing. It's so weird.
I believe the two states off the top of my head, I'm probably wrong about one, but Florida and I believe Ohio or Iowa have banned.
Pennsylvania is also doing it, I think.
Yeah, they have banned chemtrails, but why do we need to ban things that aren't happening?
It's a conspiracy theory. Ban conspiracy theories, damn it.
God damn it. Putting the tinfoil hat on.
Unsubstantiated chemtrail conspiracy theories lead to legislation. As Louisiana Representative Kimberly Landry Coates stood before her colleagues in the Senate state's legislature, she warned that the bill she was presenting might seem strange and crazy. Some lawmakers laughed with disbelief, and others listened intently as Coates described situations that are often noted in discussion of chemtrails. A decades-old conspiracy theory that posits the white lines left behind by aircraft in the sky are releasing chemicals for any number of reasons, some of them nefarious. As she urged lawmakers to ban the unsubstantiated practice, she told skeptics to start looking up at the sky. I'm really worried about what is going on above us and what is happening happening, and as we Louisiana citizens did not give anyone the right to do this above us, the Republican said. Louisiana is the latest state taking inspiration from a wide-ranging conspiratorial narrative, mixing it with facts to create legislation. Tennessee Governor Bill Lee signed a similar measure, and one from Florida passed both the House and the Senate. More than a dozen other states from New York to Arizona have introduced their own legislation. Such bills being crafted is indicative of how misinformation is moving beyond the online world and into public policy. That's fascinating. Why would somebody help me out here? Make me understand why these legislatures are doing something so crazy as to say that cloud seeding is real. Get the fuck over it.
Well, it's misinformation. Didn't you hear him?
Right. I was looking for experts and scientists in here.
Yeah, it's just misinformation. And Wikipedia said it's a complete.
It is conspiracy theory, total conspiracy theory. So, of note, this article comes from the AP, the Associated Press, along with Reuters, are the two organizations that provide something close to 99% of the articles that are run in papers across basically the world. Definitely the Western world, certainly the United States of America and Canada. This is where all of the articles come from. Why? Because it's a centralized way to disperse their propaganda. So if you want to see what's propaganda, find an AP article like this and then go to local papers and look for their articles and watch how they're echoed and spread out.
Yep.
And disseminated like chemtrails. It's like propaganda chemtrails.
I wonder if we could put together like all of the mainstream media talking about the conspiracy of chemtrails and put them all next to each other.
And like that one thing.
Yes.
Yeah. The threat to our democracy. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's an idea. I like that one.
Pound it in your ass.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. My humor is so broken that every time I hear propaganda, I think of the joke. It's not actual propaganda until a British or an Australian takes a look at it. And that's me for the night. I'll be here all night, folks.
All right.
Hey, Jimmy.
Yes, Dwarf.
Bolshevik.
There, I said it. Bolsheviks. Now drink.
Cheers.
And StreamYard decided to update. Apparently now we have microphone levels below on our little bubble buttons at the bottom. Yep. And they put the media assets in a 3-wide stack. I had it all set up. If you take a look at the media assets, they have them in rows of 3 or columns of 3 instead of one long column.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, so I think tonight before we fully call it a night, I'm going to go through and I'm going to do some sorting and whatnot.
So do some editing. Get rid of some of the older ones. We still have them. We can re-upload them if we need them. But if there's a couple in there that are out of date,
we can have up to 100. The last one that was added was the Wiggle Dance.
Yeah.
So that one's up there. So, but yeah, I'll go through and I'll clean some stuff up here.
I think we can do some cleaning.
All right.
I think we could do some cleaning. That's fascinating. I didn't know they did all that.
Yep. I opened it up and I'm like, God damn it, StreamYard, you changed shit on me again.
Hey, fuck.
I know. I hate it when they screw with shit. There was a warning, by the way. I noticed some people were talking about video dropping in and out. StreamYard admitted that they were having some problems with some browsers and their engineers are working on it. But yeah, so that's why you're having video problems in all likelihood. Look, this topic is so freaking huge that we don't have time to go through half of the stuff that I would really like to go through. The floods that we just saw in Texas, the floods that are apparently happening right now in New Mexico, possibly the floods we saw in North Carolina, possibly the rain we saw here in Michigan, up where I am. We had a year and a half of rain. It rained. I tracked it. That journal that I showed that won't show up on the green screen because it's green. we had 8 out of 11 days. 8 out of every 11 days, we had some form of precipitation. That's not normal for the state of Michigan. It's not normal.
Okay.
Been here a long time. 8 out of every 11 days for a year and a half straight, Pop. That's
that
not
is
normal.
odd. I'll give you that.
So
just to touch on those New Mexico floods that are going on here, I did do a quick search for that. Severe flash flood hits Ruidoso, New Mexico on Tuesday, causing extensive damage as the Rio Ruidoso River surged 15 feet in just 30 minutes.
Wow.
According to NOAA.
That's bad.
Yep.
Wow.
No fatalities reported yet, but property damage is extensive and ongoing. Tragically, a father and his 2 children were washed away by the floodwaters nearby Lincoln, New Mexico.
Now, here's something I saw on Twitter today. A bunch of libtards blaming Trump for taking money away from NOAA.
Or FEMA.
NOAA. This was specifically NOAA. The weather guys. I forget the North. What's NOAA stand for? I didn't even freaking know. I don't even know.
You don't know what? No, you don't know what NOAA is?
National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration.
That's the one, baby. That's the one. At any rate, Trump apparently defunded that to a degree, and all of the leftards were blaming all of these floods and catastrophes on defunding an organization, which doesn't make any sense at all.
Well, as a young Jenny said to Forrest Gump one time, "Are you stupid or something?"
Yeah, indeed.
Wow, it's something.
And then later on, Jenny said to Forrest Gump, "I have AIDS.
I will raise the AIDS, baby, Jenny." I love that Family Guy cutaway.
Oh my God,
it's fantastic. I think it is time for us to get into
Super
that
chats
thing. Yeah.
All right, Jimmy.
That time?
It's that time, baby.
Do it, baby.
Don't care what you gotta say. Whatever it is, it's probably lame. If you want some advice and need some help, oh, how about you go F yourself? Go no self, oh, F yourself.
I love the Blake saxophone solo there.
That's actually Dave.
That's Dave.
Dave. Is that Dave?
That is Dave.
It looks like Blake ate too much and scruffed out.
Yeah. And another thing that I just noticed that StreamYard's changed.
Yeah.
They don't have the starred comments anymore. So now we got to do it the fun way.
Oh, no.
Fuck bastards. Stop changing shit, StreamYard. You fucking...
Well, we're getting a backup, so we're going to use a different service for a backup, and then maybe we'll just get rid of StreamYard. We'll see.
I would not be opposed to that, because if you guys don't know, StreamYard is what, $436
almost $500 a year
for a year.
$500 a year?
Yeah, it's pretty high.
Yep.
That's really wow. I didn't realize that.
Yep. Which reminds me, I need to get in touch with Ike because I'm footing the bill for the SWF side of things on that. But
I really feel like we need to figure out OBS.
Oh, and Jimmy, send me a Cash App so I can get you paid.
Roger that. Oh, there's a reason why that we don't have any starred comments is because, well, of course, you guys know we didn't. Well, no, we've been going through the bullshit and whatnot, and the only channel that we can accept super chats from is the Regiment Fallback one. So, gentlemen, ladies, if you're still watching, want a super chat via YouTube, we don't recommend it, but that's one way to do it because the main channel has been neuterized. Yep.
Yeah.
So there's a reason why we didn't have any starred comments because there weren't any. So that was my bad. But Plains Warrior coming in with $2. He's dropping some rain clouds and some thunder.
Nice.
All right.
All right. Before we get too excited here, we'll jump over to the Rumble side, which means I need to open that up and see how many we got. 119 likes with 411 views.
Oh,
do a quick refresh. 132 likes with 1 downvote.
Oh, I like the downvotes though. Bring those on.
That's all right. We're fine.
I keep hoping that these downvote people will engage in an active
We've
manner.
had the same 15 downvoters for like a decade. I mean, Blake and I would do a show or release a video, and within 24 hours, 18 downvotes, 15 downvotes.
Yep, it comes to no surprise. Yeah. All right, let me jump back over to the Rumble side. Maybe the numbers improved. 132 likes with 1 downvote, 416 watching. But we'll jump to the super chats here. First one from N2Gas for $3 says, "Hey, Pop, it's been like 2+ weeks since the trash has been collected in Philadelphia due to striking. My question is, how much longer can this crap pile up before arson seems like a great solution?"
Probably another week.
I give it 3 days until some homeless crackhead bum throws his cigarette butt into a pile of trash and, well, half of Philadelphia burns to the ground. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that happen, but that's probably what's going to happen.
I mean, if you really want to be effective, you're going to have to apply an accelerant.
Half of Philadelphia should probably burn to the ground anyway.
Yeah, it's a rat hole.
You're not wrong. And let's see. Moving on, we got Lecoq. These colonist haters never seem to want to leave and find a better place to live.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Because there is no better place to live than the United States of America. Right. Just come here legally, go through the process, and assimilate. Because
they think if they get rid of us, all of the stuff that we built will remain and still be cool, and they'll still have all of it. Ask Rhodesia how that worked out.
Yep.
Yeah. And moving on here, we got Susan McCarthy here with $5. Says, "Westerns, flash floods, and quicksand. Turns out real flash floods are more common than real quicksand."
We actually have quicksand here in Michigan. I found out when I was about 12 years old. And fortunately, a bunch of my friends were there and managed to pull me out of it. But yeah, there's quicksand in Michigan.
So we got next one. We got says, "I am Jack Slad." Says, "Look up Augustus Dorico, CEO of Rainmaker."
Oh.
I believe, I don't know if that is the same person, but yeah, there's a guy that says, "Oh yeah, I'm the CEO of the cloud seeding project. It has nothing to do with the flash flood."
Yeah, get the hell out of here.
Yeah. Oh, there he is. Yep.
You can trust me.
Yeah. Oh, he's from Berkeley, California, which explains all kinds of shit. All kinds of shit.
This is my shocked face.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, moving on. We got Flashgator here with $5. Says, "Evening flip flopping dwarf Dido. Nice to catch you. Sad dwarf wasn't there on Sunday for movie night."
Oh,
it was a really good movie too. It was Kelly's Heroes.
I would have liked to have been there. I don't know what I was doing.
Yeah, I wish I could have been there too, but I don't know, for some fuck off reason I was sick all fucking weekend.
You were fucking off. Is what
It sucked.
I mean, I myself have felt pretty shitty for the past 2 days, so I get it.
I was supposed to do a meme stream for the 4th of July, but I was like, yeah, that's not going to happen. I'm too fucked up.
Yeah. See, I have a wife unit that I am accountable to. If I stream too much, I start to hear about it. So.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, the minute you've been in a relationship for 5 years and a day, they turn into a nagger.
I've been fortunate. I've said this before. I have been fortunate. Mine did not, but I will get the eyebrow if I stream too much.
Yet.
It's been 14 years. It's been 14 years.
Listen, I'm holding out hope for yet. Okay.
Yeah. I could be the exception that proves the rule.
Okay. I'm cool with
that.
There you
go.
I'm cool with that.
And Flashgator coming back says, "Also, dwarf, is your background a D92?
My background, like the background behind me,
is your background D/92?
I don't know what that means. The background that is physically behind me right now is Mjolnir. It's a green screen, That's Thor's hammer, and it's actually my family creed, which is God feeds the crows.
Well, he could be asking your MOS in a different number for a different service.
That is a number that I do not recognize. My MOS was 98 Golf /37 Fox, which is PSYOP.
Okay.
So
there you go. And everybody's favorite chatter. Well, except for Pops. Alicard jumps in and says,
God damn it.
The dog man called. She wants to sing and wants the snoo, bring beer in a tent. And Pop, make her squeal.
Oh, God.
Make her squeal.
Stop it with the whistle. God damn it, I hate that one.
Romulan Pop never fails.
Yes, yes.
That's Romulan Pop. I like that.
It's the other San Francisco treat. Let's see. We got Flashgator here coming back. Says, "Gotta go, gentlemen, but have a pleasant night. Pop and Dwarf, thanks for the laughter and smiles in such a shitty time."
Oh, you're welcome. We try to present this in a manner that is amusing and tolerable instead of just an endless, gritty, dry drone of facts. That's no fun. Nobody likes to listen to that.
It was so sad. This is what happened, and here's the evidence. I mean, okay.
Yeah, nobody wants that shit.
Nope.
Nobody wants to hear that.
Yeah.
Nope. Let's see. N2 Gas coming back says, "Guy in Texas is telling me the blue water is likely porta-shitter water from porta-shitters that have been blown airborne by high winds."
Yeah.
You have a whole storm of them. I mean, come on. Come on. Come on.
Come on. N2 Gas again says, HARP was a high-powered phased array direction antenna network operating at HF shortwave band frequencies. It would send multi-megawatt pulses and then wait for the pulse to circulate in the ionosphere.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and it also had a tendency to bulge the atmosphere where the radio frequencies hit the ionosphere.
Yeah.
And N2 Gas continues again, says HARP was used to boil and punch holes in the ionosphere.
Oh, yeah.
When I was talking about actually puncturing the atmosphere and like letting in outer space, I was just kind of spitballing sci-fi shit. Don't take that too seriously. I don't know anything about that actual activity. So,
and I hope that never happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Who knows what's going on these days?
I'm looking forward to dying of a heart attack at 65.
Sure.
Yeah.
There you go. We got 68 Barracuda coming in and says, "Can the people responsible for the cloud seeding be charged with manslaughter? Do we need to get Viva and Barnes in on this?"
It's deliberate nefarious activity. I think they should be. I would even categorize it as war crimes, to be completely honest.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty fucked up.
Yep. Let's see. I need to do a quick copy and paste of this because this is from an interview with, God damn it, wrong button. Fucking tab. Too many goddamn tabs. Let's see here. This one comes from Longshot Triple O with $10. He's dropping the link. It says the cloud seeding guy interview. And I'm not going to play it. I'm just going to share it. And well, you can probably guess what this guy looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude needs to work on his mullet.
Oh,
I see.
My. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Just share it with everyone in the chat so they can view it.
Share it. Yeah.
You know, I mean, don't play the video. Just share.
No. I didn't play the video. Yeah, if you guys want to,
just drop it in the chat.
Just drop it in the chat.
Dropping the links in the chats.
Smurf the balls.
Smurf balls. Balls, Smurfers.
All of the balls will be smurfed. All right, let's move on here. I can take this thing. Get rid of that tab. Fucking StreamYard's changing shit on me. You fucking bastards. All right, let's see. What do we got here next? We got Tomahawk here with $5. Says Grok went rogue today, starting calling out the small hats and praising Uncle Adolf. Don't believe me? Look into it. It's fucking hilarious.
No. I was in on some of that. That's probably part of what got me suspended for a week. That one that I read it. The one that I read at the beginning from somebody named Cindy Steinberg in LA, who is an aromatherapist. That's a real person. She was all about killing white kids and calling them all little fascists and everything. I asked Grok if what she said qualified as hate speech, and Grok was all over it. Somebody says it's not Grok, it's Mecha Hitler now.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Goody. Let's see. We got 68 Barracuda jumping in. Says, "Hey, Battle Hobbit, if we're gonna have to drink Bolsheviks, that's at least 3. I need to be able to buy some mead. Is it?
I'm working on it, man. I'm working on it. We just got an offer from a local restaurant to hold a tasting.
All right,
just last night. So they're like, "Yeah, bring it in," because they apparently. Well, here's the thing, Pop. Apparently, people go into. It's called the Lake Inn. It's a popular restaurant here that does obviously fish dishes. They say they have people asking about meat all the time, but all they can get is the crap that's out there, and people don't like it. So I'm going to bring a couple of bottles to them.
Do you need any more bottles?
No, I got this. This part I can do. I can bring bottles to them legitimately, not to sell,
to
do a private tasting with the owners.
I'm just saying, do you need me to have more bottles delivered?
No, not yet. I'll let you know. But I've got 4 of the different meads bottled, and our mead is water, honey, and yeast. That's it. But I vary the honey and I vary the yeast. You've got summer honey and you've got winter honey. And then you can boil honey to get black mead, which is really tasty shit and smells like toasted marshmallows. Then you can use wine yeast, or you can use ale yeast and get different ones. Pop, I used the ale yeast to make one, and you're really going to like it. I just pulled a sample 2 days ago. It tastes like a fruity drink.
I need that.
I know. It's got a little while to go, but it's got a nice fruity bouquet to it.
If we weren't talking about alcohol, I just hovered over the
we are talking about mead made with Yorkshire ale yeast.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But Beetledorf has been summoned as per the last super chat.
Bolsheviks.
No, don't say it. Bolsheviks. No, please stop.
Bolsheviks.
It's showtime. Bolsheviks, baby. Everyone drink.
All right.
Let's see. We got Professor Blake Pooh Ass Blaster 3000. Haven't heard from him in a while, but he's good to see us. Says, "Hey, Pop, got a question. I have a friend that's using dating apps like Tinder, for an example. Tried telling him he did not listen. So his dumbass found a girl on the app. Should I cut ties with him?"
Only if he tries to set you up with her friend.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's going to implode. And it is better to have him bitch at you while you're still his friend than him, self-delete over this whore that's going to rip his
he's gonna need a solid buddy. He's got to learn this lesson himself. But when it's over, he's gonna need a solid buddy.
Yeah, and don't you dare tell him get over it. You just say, "Listen, you have to get through it, and I will help you."
Unless it's a horsey girl, then you advise him to run immediately.
Immediately, Mucking
Run.
stables is not a good job.
And her stable has probably been mucked more than you think.
Thank you for making that joke, because I was thinking of another joke about mucking stables, and
It's mucked and fucked. Yeah.
disgusting. Ugh.
Yeah.
We got Sogo68 coming in and says, Steve, check your email. I sent you a bunch of links.
Bunch of links for when was this? Dude, and don't take this personally. Pop and I get so many emails from you motherfuckers.
Yeah, I know.
If you want us to read them, please put a coherent subject line in there.
Yes.
There's a couple of guys that are actually really good at that. I can't hear Sogo's. I think you're probably talking about Tuesday's webcast at Weather Mods, and I saw a lot of that. I actually used some of your links. We simply can't use everything all the time. I wish we could.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's see. I'm going to jump back to the YouTube side here. Just keep an eye on that. And I think Stuart deserves a golf clap for this one. He
Stuart,
says, I got mead too. Hashtag mead too.
I got mead too. That's nice.
I like it. I like it.
Nice little golf clap for you there, Stuart.
You should hear my wife come at me about the fact that there's 50 gallons of mead sitting in the house, and another 40 gallons of honey.
We gotta move it in the basement.
I'm working on it. I got to get the basement dried out properly.
Do it. And we got Professor Blake coming back, says, also, I've tried giving advice. I realize the only person can change is he has to change and play Singing Blake.
We did have a request for Singing Pop. You guys are jackasses. Always want to watch the same shit over and over again. Pick new videos.
Look at me, I wanna be the captain of the sea.
About time.
The poop that came from me, I'd rather steer us to debauchery.
Careful what you ask for, video guy. Careful what you ask for.
The murder deer horns. I don't know what to do about those.
Murder horse horns, yeah.
Yeah.
Yikes. Let's see. And we got Ellie Card coming in, says, would weather modification cause an ice age?
Well,
I don't know.
actually, we don't really know what the fuck we're doing with the weather or the environment, because we've only really been studying it for about 50 fucking years.
Yes.
As the famous saying goes, just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Absolutely.
There's also the little fact that Mother Nature does not give a fuck. And if we insignificant little bugs bother Mother Nature too much, she'll just go, boop.
That's right.
And wipe us off the face of the... She did it to the dinosaurs.
Yep.
If the Earth wants us gone, we're gone. And there's nothing we can do about it.
There's fuck all you could do about it.
Yep.
Well, that whole period of 2 weeks to spread there's 2 weeks to stop the spread, there were actually coral reefs that bloomed to life. There were animals that fucking exploded in population.
Yeah.
Maybe some. I'm not saying I fully agree with the only 500,000 people on the planet, but
it's coming. It's coming.
I'm just saying.
I will discuss my 87% theory at a later time.
Okay.
There you go. And we got International House Whoop Ass coming back, says the whole chemtrail thing is crazy. It's like they want to terraform the planet and then blame climate change just to take money and launder it back to themselves.
Well, here's the really
and kill a bunch of us, but yes.
Yes.
The fucked up part is this. Is maybe we're terraforming the planet for the next aliens that are going to take possession after they wipe us the fuck out. Just
There's
saying.
There's a movie for that. It's called Oblivion.
Yeah.
Which actually was a pretty decent movie. It's a very good concept.
Oh God.
It's a good concept. It is. It's a good concept.
That is a good concept, but I'm well.
Here we go. Oh God. Damn it. All right.
Don't worry, Pop. There's a couple guys in the chat that are saying, damn it, Alucard, get him up with some new material.
All right.
Yeah, there is that.
I agree with. But to commence Alucard's $2 donation. Snot pocket, vomit, STD pus greenish brown goo mixed with starburst brownish red goo. Zinc noodles with reddish green, brown, yeast infected, chunky period blood.
God damn it.
Zinc broth, fat juice, brownish red.
Zinc. It's always a zinc broth. That is disgusting.
That is really disturbing shit.
It is.
I have to say that's disturbing.
You're gonna have to come up with some new material to make Pop puke. I think he's become he's developing.
He's starting to become immune.
Yes.
Whenever he comes up with like a new saying in there, I always I remember and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
this is nasty.
Let's see. We got Susan McCarley here jumping in. Says paranoid question: could this be part of the resistance? It's possible, but are they this desperate?
Not entirely sure what you mean.
Started in 1950. I would have to say no.
Something. Well, we got hooliganism here with $5. Says Dwarf, your mic is very explosive. Read about microphone proximity effect. Your mic.
I saw you say that, and I turned my mic down 2 clicks. Is that any better?
Yep. And he says your mic probably has a switch to adjust voice setting. Thanks. Yep.
I do have that, and I just added 1 click to it. Is that better?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
anybody?
Good
Okay, good.
Bueller. And we got N2 Gas jumping back. It says, sorry, my internet froze when you responded to my Philly trash fire prediction. Can I have Cliff Notes, please?
Yes. You got about another week unless they use an accelerant. And I have a feeling that you will see that happening because people are dicks and there's a lot of leftoids out there who hate this country and hate the government.
Yeah, it's quite easy to put certain objects, certain flammable things into certain objects and then just toss them away.
Yes.
I'm not saying that's going to happen, but it's probably going to happen.
Well, like pool shock tablets are really good at that.
Yep.
Pool shock tablets. I don't know about this. We'll have to talk about this later.
I can't talk about it online, but it's
fine.
Here you go. Nope, that's fine. But here you go, guys. When the liquor license and all the hoops are jumped through, N2 Gas has a name for the very first mead flavor.
Uh-oh.
Romulan Pop. And we have a screenshot of Pop singing.
God damn it.
Romulan Pop. No. We can do that.
I like the name Battle Dwarf in German better.
Krieg's, what was it?
Kampfsphere.
Yeah.
Kampfsphere.
We'll do that. We'll go with some fun names.
Yeah.
Kampfsphere Brewing presents Romulan Pop.
Metamora Mead Maker Company, but then we'll have to have different.
Metamora Mead Merchant, yes.
Merchant.
I will admit to brewing the meads, making the meads on specific days of the year, like the summer solstice and Samhain and all, because I want to be able to put that on the label legitimately, because one of our targets is the Renaissance Festival, where the nerds with lots of money show up in their $700 cosplay outfits will pay $100 for a bottle of mead brewed on the Samhain in the darkness. They just will.
Yeah.
They just will.
You're right. Yeah.
It's pure marketing.
Yep.
I'm cool with it.
I mean, I'm not a nerd, but if you offer
We're all nerds.
Advertised mead to me that way, I'd be like, yeah, that's probably worth $100.
Yeah, I'll do that.
I can do that.
Yeah, why not? Let's do that.
So we've got here's our second 68 Barracuda says, I second that name for the mead. So what's going to happen?
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. M Tyler 11 says, sorry, I'm late, Sergeant. No excuse. Did you guys cover the SMOC reversal and its effects on the AMOC?
What?
I don't believe we covered it down to that much of a gnat's ass. We talked about some of the chemicals but yeah.
What's the SMOC? What's the SMOC?
I have no idea what that is.
Ruh-roh.
Oh, ruh-roh. All right, next one.
That would be the Southern Ocean Overturning Circulation, I believe. Southern
Yeah.
Middlesex Opportunity Council.
Southern Meridional
that it?
Overturning Circulation. Okay, we did not cover that.
We did
I
not
do
cover
not know
that.
what it is. I'll have to
That
look
probably
into
is not the correct thing, but apparently not. We did not cover that. Let's see. We got Idiot Grimlock here with $2. Says, have you guys heard about the veterans and their families getting compensation for getting terrorized by the state?
I saw that link and opened it. I intend to read it later. The initial headline says court victory means money for veterans, families hurt or killed by terrorism, including Norfolk native. I'll read this article later.
Okay.
But I have it open.
There you go. And Raynard69 says, can you summarize your 87% theory without making it into a full episode?
Yes, I can. I've had this theory for quite some time, probably close to 20 years now. It is my opinion that 87% of the population is expendable, and that's because I require 10% for manual labor. That's it. That's the whole theory. In other words, only 3% of the population is viable. But somebody has to pave roads.
Yep. Alrighty, that looks like that covers everything over on the Rumble side for now, because I know you guys are sneaky bastards. And let's see, we got quite a few over here on the MGTOW side. First one from Dark Mad Dog 21 says, Battledwarf, don't forget Bernie Sanders, who spent his honeymoon in the Soviet Union.
Yes, he did.
And California has been infested by commies for a very long time who are very friendly with China. Non-whites hating whites is a tale as old as look at independence of Latin America countries where they killed all the white Spanish and black genocide of whites everywhere. It was bound to happen. By the way, towns are put on flooding lanes on purpose since it's cheaper.
Okay.
Well,
do you want to smell it? Do you want to smell it? Because I'm holding up a shocker right now.
No.
We're good.
No, I do not want to smell it. I do know that Bernie Sanders also was thrown out of a hippie commune because he was too lazy at one point.
Him being lazy as a communist? No.
Yeah.
Hell no. That never happened. Get the hell out of here.
No, he totally doesn't have 4 fucking mansions and is praising socialism while he's living off of capitalism.
Yep.
Go fuck yourself, Bernie. You old fucking goat.
Fuck that guy.
Bastard. All right, next one here we got from MGTOW Ronan here with $2 says movies feature scenes of flash floods, hard rain, crawl, the flood 2023, earthquake 1974, 12 hours 2010. The movie Crawl in 2019 centers around a young woman and her father trapped in a house during a hurricane with rising floodwaters and alligators in Florida.
I saw that one. Yeah.
Oh, fuck that. That's viable. I lived in Homestead, Florida for a short time. That's actually viable. Fuck that.
Yeah. Let's see. We got Crazy Uncle here jumping in with $5. Says number one killer of flash flood is not drowning. It's rapid blood loss from shock due to lacerations and punctures of debris.
Yes.
Number 2.
Yep.
It's actually
That's
exposure. Correct. It's actually exposure due to hypothermia. And number 3 is drowning. Tip to all: if you are caught in fast-moving water, turn your feet downstream and wait until you get close to the shore before you swim to it. Also, never dive in for them. Always toss them a rope. Once they grab it, wrap it around you and run away from the water.
Yep.
Battledorf and Pop. Any additions?
That's about right.
That's about right. And
first
that's
of all,
what
you
I
never dive
experienced.
into it. You never dive into any water that you can't see the bottom. You always go feet first.
Especially if it's moving water.
It will not end well for you.
Yeah.
Especially if it's moving water that's moving trees that are 30 to 40 years old and weigh 6 to 7 tons. You are a toothpick.
You are nothing.
Yeah.
You are nothing.
That one of the things I mentioned when I showed the videos from Korea, I was there when that happened. The whole thing. I saw a full-size refrigerator thrown through 3 walls of houses by the waters. And I mean, it punched like a square hole, like the children's toy where you've got the triangle and the square and the hexagon, and you got to put them in the right holes.
Yeah,
It looked like that.
Moving water does not give a fuck about you.
Gives 0 fucks.
0 fucks.
Water is an absolutely 0 fuck element.
Yep,
that's right.
Let's see. Next one we got Moisture Patrol for $10 says, from what I recall, only one of the proactive politicians in Winnipeg or wherever started the massive Red River floodway. He was lambasted and his career was murdered permanently due to spending. However, it's diverted mass floodwaters around the city ever since.
Huh. Okay.
Shocker. Get rid of the guy that has a good idea, then use that guy's good idea. And then take the credit for it.
That's never happened before.
The carburetor.
Yep.
Anybody know that story? The guy who invented the carburetorless car was killed one night on I-75 in Detroit in a mysterious accident. Not long after, the big 3 stopped putting carburetors in cars.
Shocker.
Yep.
And going off on a tangent, you guys remember that incident with that supposed white supreme pizza guy? Did that shooting up in Buffalo?
Yeah.
The security guard allegedly was working on water-powered engine and was quite successful.
I remember that.
Yeah. Connecting all the dots. He may seem crazy to some people, but we're not those kind of people.
Yep.
Let's see. Crazy Uncle here says, this will piss you off. When I was a drill sergeant, when I was a drill in South Carolina, in one of our field problems, the rain was really bad, and I could see the start of a flash flood. I told another drill, another INF drill, told a female drill in charge of the PLT in the flood.
Oh,
path.
God.
The squaint wouldn't even get out of the back of the truck to check on her trainees as they got flooded out. Though the water was enough to force a relocation, not life-threatening, she refused to help because she didn't want to get wet. More details later.
I'm sorry, but there would have been a training accident.
Yeah.
The PLT there is a platoon. She was a platoon drill sergeant. There would have been a training accident.
Yeah, there would have been some shit.
Because those trainees' lives were in danger. And as a drill sergeant, your job is to protect those trainees so much as it is to train them and harass the living shit out of them. But
yes,
your job is to protect them first and foremost. That would have been a training accident. That's all I'll say.
Things would have happened.
Yeah.
Things and stuff would have been happened and reports would have to be made.
Yeah. Listen, I'm an angry white guy. I would write one hell of a wicked fucking letter.
No, that individual needed to go.
Yep. All right, let's see here. We got Dark Mad Dog jump back and again says about Mexico. Did you guys know that the Mexitos and the natives are assaulting and kicking off whites there and are extremely angry about all the immigrant Jews is allowing in, including Africans, Venezuelans, Chinese, Koreans, anyone who is either a criminal or potential illegal. The natives are devolving into retards, while the white Mexicans and others are dressing as SS officers in weddings because it's funny and based to piss their president off. Repeat of Spanish versus native?
Well, we'll see.
I don't have any problem with the Mexicans protecting Mexico.
Yeah.
I will never disagree with an indigenous people protecting their land. I won't.
Yep.
You should be able to defend your home. Poland is awesome. Have you seen that?
Poland is based. Poland is based. We need to just take all kind of border security operations from Poland.
Japan is doing the same thing. Japan is starting to deport all of their illegals as well.
Good.
Yeah. Pop, if you haven't seen the Poland stuff, you really need to. It's great.
Oh, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Apparently, German police are trying to find back roads to drop illegals or invaders that have come into their country into Poland.
Yeah,
and Poland's not having it.
You will find. I saw one video.
Walls of young Polish men are showing up at the drop points.
Yes.
And I mean walls of burly young Polish men.
Yeah, we're not talking about the young, scraggly guys that are looking like me. No, I'm talking about guys that are like 220 to 250, maybe 275, and jacked as fuck.
Yeah, and like walls of them, like hundreds.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Anyway,
Good
carry on.
fucking stuff. Carry on, Poland. And we got MGTOW Ronan here polishing us out here on the MGTOW side of things. He says, "Fuck Jenny, the greatest villain in cinematic history. Thanos and Darth Vader. Yeah, sorry. Gentlemen, you can forage your way through life. Might be a great life, but when it comes to women, don't be a gump.
Don't do that.
Don't be a gump.
Don't be a gump.
You can run through the valley of pussy, but don't dump in the valley of pussy because then you'll become a gump.
Don't dump your goo and then run like a Jew or Forrest Gump from the tax man. Just saying."
Yep. And last one here, we got Mick Tyrone. He says, "I know we joke about the 65 and out plan, but it's kind of a grim prospect. My father was 75 when he died, and his uncle his decline happened when he was literally within 6 months. Then he died. Luckily, I was there to settle his affairs and lay him and his wife's remains to rest. I unfortunately don't have kids. Growing that old alone and unable to take care of yourself is scary. Your thoughts?"
Yeah. Pick a fight with the Mexican drug cartel and go out on your feet.
What's are you saying? Go all Gran Torino?
Yeah.
No?
Get off my lawn.
That's awesome.
Yep. All right. It looks like we did have a few sneaky bastards over on the Rumble side. We got hooliganism. Dwarf, the switch, is not volume. It's for changing the pickup pattern. It'll smooth out your volume as you move around. Find the manual.
Yeah, we'll take care of it.
Read the instructions.
We're operating on a shoestring budget, man. You can't.
Yeah, I don't exactly have quality equipment. It's good. It's good. It does what it does.
It's good enough.
I'm running on earbuds and a $50 microphone from Staples.
That's fine.
This one was actually 45. So
there you go.
Smurf the balls.
Smurfing balls.
But alrighty. Well, Ali Card, you got your one disgusting super chat in. You put it in a second one. We appreciate it, but one is good enough for the streets.
Yeah, come on, man. Come up with new shit.
Until you come up with new disgusting ways to describe zinc broth and vag juice.
You get one an episode.
Accepted.
There you go.
Yeah.
Come up with original shit.
You guys always want to see the same thing. New videos. We invoke the sacred murder horse horns.
That was great. He did the whole hand thing and everything. That's awesome. That was good. That was good shit right there.
That was funny. Let's see. We got M. Tyler here with a question for Steve. South Meridional overturning circulation pretty much drives planetary weather, and the ocean's currents is pulling that heat and CO2 from the ocean floor. It ain't supposed to do that.
Are you trying to science me? Because I don't know that science. I have never dabbled in that science. Yeah. I'll look at it, though. I will look at it.
Well, I could definitely tell that was a science question because there was some words with too many syllables in there and my mind can't process.
And acronyms.
Oh,
yeah, I get it.
Yep. Let's see. We got N2 Gas says, "Hey guys, look into the 529 ABLE updates for veterans."
I just popped the hood on that. I will look at it later, but thank you.
There you go. And Susan McCarthy coming in says, "Sanders was lazier than a commune full of hippies."
Yes. Sanders was thrown out of a hippie commune.
Yep.
And then elected into the Senate.
Yeah, where he fits right in.
Yay!
Which tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah, I have voiced my opinions on Twitter about things and stuff.
I got suspended from Twitter today for 7 days.
Oh, goody.
Yeah.
I'll probably be joining you here pretty soon if my thoughts go down to my thumbs and onto the keyboard. Good thing I have a filter for that. Let's see. We got M. Tyler 11 here says, also, you tracking the polar shift and its acceleration in the past 2 decades? That's tied to the falling magnetosphere.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Magnetosphere. Yep.
Yeah. They've been tracking pole shifts been happening on the Earth every, 25,000 years going back.
Well, I know our magnetic declination where we sit, Pop, is minus 7.5. And I also happen to know that in the 80s, it was like minus 5. So something is definitely moving. And if you've ever done land nav, you know what I'm talking about with magnetic declination.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, you know, Pop.
Oh, sorry. Had a fucking burp there. But I would like to live long enough to see the magnetic poles shift.
No, you don't.
Just to see what it was happen.
Yeah. It's not gonna be pretty.
No, but I'd still like to see it. It would be my version of Ranger TV.
Okay.
If you say so.
You say so.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Carrying on. We got Tomahawk here with $2 says Battledorf's mead is the mead you need.
You have no idea. It's turning out really well. And I can brew 4 distinct varieties with the same results every time now. And I'm working on a 5th.
Yes. Yeah.
And again, the only ingredients are water, honey, and yeast. All you do is vary the honey and the yeast, and you get all kinds of really interesting results.
I just had a brilliant idea.
Oh God!
You can call it 5 meads instead of 5 guys, and then we can have Battledorf sitting on the couch with his 5 bottles of mead standing behind him.
Okay.
I can. I'm guessing you don't approve.
That's all right.
Battledorf does not approve. All right, we got Reynard 69 says, dude, that's even more extreme than communism. I'd only ghost the bottom 10% of IQ, and then by putting them in the infantry for our prearranged forever wars.
I assume you're talking about my 87% doctrine, and that mostly stems from the fact that I just don't like people.
Fair enough.
I'm an animal person. I would rather hang out with chickens or dogs than people.
How dare you, as a straight white man, save a dog before an illegal immigrant?
I will smoke 1 million illegal immigrants before I will even give a dog a dirty look.
I will
Straight up.
If I had land, I would more than happily set out a bowl of dog food for a dog that comes on and wanders. I don't know. Yep, there you go. Yeah, you won't see me putting out food for an illegal immigrant.
I got it.
I like dogs a lot more. And we got 68 Barracuda regarding that growing loan. Pop, is your ESP seeing anything with the ladies killing themselves over the next 40 years before they run out of box wine?
Actually, you're going to
doesn't require ESP.
Yeah, that doesn't require ESP, but right around 55 is when a lot of these ladies are going to realize that the jig is up and they are fucked, and not in a good way.
Yep.
See, I don't know.
On one of the Thursday shows about a week or 2 ago, I showed a 40, 45-year-old woman going, I can't find a boyfriend. You could tell she realized that she had hit the wall.
Yep,
it's like, sweetie, I hate to say it, but you ran the clock out.
That's right.
You don't have any value.
Yep.
I mean, it's a harsh thing to say, but that's the reality of it. You don't have any value. What do you bring to the table?
Yeah, you're certainly not bringing peace.
Yeah.
Well, as the saying goes, Pop? What is it? The truth is not an attack, and reality is not an insult.
Yep.
Exactly. Truth is not an attack. Reality is not an insult.
There you go. And final one over here on the Rumble side, because we got to get through other super chats here. Is from N. Tyler says, Jimmy, a polar shift would result in the oceans flooding over land. The planet will roll over on its side and quick. It's biblical. Yeah. Don't want. But I didn't say I would be physically on the planet as this happens. I just want to be a ghostly sphere traveling the cosmos.
Like, Jimmy, are you going to? Jimmy, are you going to astral project yourself?
Probably.
Because that sounds gay.
All right. Next one.
Yeah, well, I'll be flying around the cosmos while you're making meat in hell.
No, it's a walkthrough. Let's get it accurate.
There you go. All right, let's see. Looks like MGTOW is all caught up. No more super chats over on the Rumble side because we got to get through other stuff here.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
All right, we got over on Odyssey here. We got blankets as usual. It says, Pop, after the 10th of July, IBC will be gone because Odyssey wants to fully transfer it to their new monetization system. Library coin. Okay.
I'll see if I can unfuck that whole thing.
Yep. And he continues, says, Blake says the Odyssey wallet is buggy. It's not, though. He's probably just not doing it right. It's pretty easy to do. Well, send him an email and tell him how to unfuck the situation.
All right.
Way to go. Do that, Blankets. Says, do you think Orange Man should remove Pam Dan and Patel because of what happened with the list?
Yeah. It's clearly a lie, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's something going on, and I don't know. There's more variables that we're not being told, and I would like to know these variables.
Yeah. See, and I have the opinion of Tim Pool. Yes, I said his name. Yes, I know a lot of guys don't like him. Fuck, whatever. He's the most reliable news source other than these two guys that I have. So I'm going to listen to him. He brings up the Rorschach and the Watchmen thing.
Yep.
Would you destroy everything in order for the truth to come out? Without hesitation, I answer yes.
Yep.
We can rebuild. We cannot unfuck ourselves from the situation that we're in because certain people went to a certain island to do certain things with certain people and may or may not be blackmailed by a certain government that likes their small hats. All allegedly, of course.
Allegedly, of course, yeah. I got it.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. And Blankets is asking, what do you guys think of Massey for 2028?
Which one's Massey?
Thomas Massey. He's the guy. He's the guy that wears the debt counter on his lapel every time he's in Congress, which is now at 37 trillion. If you didn't know that, fun fact.
Wow. You know what? I don't know. We'll see. To be honest, I'm losing faith in the politicians. I think we're going to have to.
Bob.
We need to get veterans in there.
You had faith in politicians?
Oh.
Oh, you poor sad sack.
I know. We need veterans in there now. This is just getting stupid.
Yeah, we need something better than this.
Yeah.
And Blankets again says, do you think you could make a Sunday show on the weather modification?
We don't do Sunday shows like that.
I don't know what we'll do this Sunday. I don't. Maybe maybe we'll do another paranormal show.
There you go. And Blankets again is asking if we can have Patton on the Sunday movie supporter poll.
Ooh. We try not to go over 2 hours.
Patton's like 3 hours, isn't it?
Yeah, that might be too much.
Yeah, it's a long one.
That's what she said.
Well, she didn't say that to me, so.
I mean, Kelly's Heroes was 2 hours, 20 minutes. And that was
Jimmy, you and I are over here making dick jokes and Pop's calculating the hours on World War II movies.
Sorry. Continue on.
It's all good, man. It's what we do here. And over on D Live, we got 6 viewers. And over on the Twatter sphere, we had 66 views.
Okay.
All right.
So
It is a
light on
low
that.
view night tonight.
Wow.
By the way, relatively speaking.
I really didn't get it. The links pushed out till like noon.
Oh.
Fucking up by the numbers, man.
Yeah. Well, what are you gonna do?
I even had everything set up before the night before, and I saw the text from you like 5:35 in the morning. Hey, set the stream up. It's
Yeah,
already set
right.
up. Check your email, you bastard.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I just
Pop
woke
does
up
that.
like, okay, I better get it. Send him a text before he goes to work.
It's all good, man. Just making sure shit's going good.
All right, man.
Fine. All righty. We had Stuart over on the YouTube's Be a Sneaky Bastard as well. Last super chats of the night, guys. First one is $5 Australian. It says, Dwarf, regarding your basement, are you telling us your downstairs is dirty and messed up?
Well, in Michigan, my friend, basements can sometimes literally be partial caves, which is the case with mine. It is cut from the rock that the house sits on and is finished in fieldstone. It's called a Michigan basement. We have basements that are literally partial caves. So
I think Stuart was trying to make a dick joke there.
that's fine. That's fine. But he needs to know Michigan basements are a thing.
Yeah, they are.
I'm just saying, if your downstairs is dirty and messed up, you should probably take a shower.
Mm-hmm. Why are you interested in my downstairs, you faggot Helma?
All right.
Let's see. And Stuart again says, Dwarf, did that fridge have Indiana Jones in it?
No, it did not. No, it did not. But it did have kimchi in it. Yes, we looked in the fridge.
Yes, we did look in the fridge.
And we got Stuart again. Says, don't dump your lump in her bump or you're a chump like Gump.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm surprised
Fair
I
enough.
got through that one without a fucking tongue twist.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. And last one for the night here from Stuart again. Says, lies are like gangrene. If you don't cut it off with the truth now, the suffering later will become much worse. The truth and lies always come out eventually.
That's true.
That's true.
That's true.
And what was the famous quote from one of the founding fathers? If the truth shall kill him, then
Let
so
them
be
die.
it. And let them die.
Yeah, let them die. We got a bunch more over on Rumble.
Bastards.
All right.
Sons of bitches.
Flash Gator throws $1 at us, says, have I been summoned? No, well, too bad. I don't care. And then throws another $1 at us and says, I'm back, baby. 68 Barracuda throws $1 at us and says, when are you guys going to do the stream and running for public office? The election is a year out. It's a good idea to get registered at the Register of Voters. Put a campaign together soon. I guess you're talking about the Musket Party, Everett. I want to push that forward. I just have this problem. It's called time. I don't have a lot of time. Yep. What I need to do is win the fucking Powerball so that I can concentrate on that. Tomahawk throws $2 at us, says Patton was based, so they killed him. That's true. He died of wounds that he didn't have from a Jeep accident that should not have killed him.
Correct.
Shocker.
There,
this isn't a super chat, but Flip the Bunny says, Jimmy, don't take Hobbit shit. He asked Pop if he would needed help getting erect earlier.
What?
Oh, those were freaking Pop had trouble getting it up on the screen earlier.
Yeah.
Dude, phrasing.
That's not a homo suspicion.
You are fined 1 homo suspicion point for violation of the Man Code Morality Statute.
That's messed up. How the fuck did that happen?
Hey, it's all right. He runs the button.
He's the one who was trying to get it up on the screen.
Dude, phrasing. Phrasing, man. Phrasing. All of the phrasing.
All of the phrasings.
All of it.
All right. Are we caught up on super chats?
Stuart drops another $2 Australian, says hashtag basement cave. All right, that is it for the super chats, guys. We are getting way past overtime. You guys are way too fucking generous. We are not worthy. I know we didn't get any of those for any super donations that are worthy of it. But I just want to let you guys know we are not worthy. Thank you guys for tuning in and donating, and most importantly, sharing the show.
We're not worthy! We're not worthy!
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Alrighty. Battledorf.
Yeah.
We're going to start off with you. Final words for the evening.
Well, I saw somebody mention that they live relatively nearby and they were interested in the idea of mead. And well, at this time, I cannot sell mead. Email us at redonkulas12@gmail.com and we'll discuss.
Fair enough.
My ability not to sell mead.
Things and stuff may or may not happen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, Pop, your final words for the night and the safety briefing.
All right, everybody. Don't drink and drive. Don't drink and swim. It's not going to work out for you. If you absolutely must fornicate, wear a condom, take it with you, flush it down the toilet, watch it go all the way down. Why? Because women are sneaky bitches, and child support does last 18 to 21 years, depending upon the state you are in. Rack up, pack up, and stack up. There's always safety in numbers, and maintain your situational awareness, because if you're going to be attacked, something in your environment will have changed. It's up to you to see it. And last but not least, I'm sick and tired of throwing you guys in the dirt because you're taking a permanent solution to a temporary problem. Play the long game. You have no idea what tomorrow holds, and it could change on a dime. Stay in the fight, and if all else fails, live out of motherfucking spite. And always remember, Uncle Pop is cheering for all of your victories, even the ones you can never tell anyone about. Boom, beer me. All right. And are we good?
You need something to put your beer in. Fuck, sorry, my mic was fucking muted. Son of a
What?
bitch. Fucked up.
Well,
it's hot out there, guys. And well, speaking of beers, get yourself an Evil Hairless Monkey beer glass. It will keep your beer cold, ice cold. Get yourself a koozie. These koozies are fucking outstanding. You hear this? Steel koozies, double insulated.
Oh, wow.
They keep your beer cold. Trust me, I use it.
Wow. Nice.
Again, if you guys ever pick something out of the fantabulous Redonkulas merch shop, tag me in it, tag Pop in it, tag Battledorf in it. Let us know that you love the merch.
Yeah.
And, well, as always, make sure that your girlfriend doesn't wash her pussy in the sink, because that's how you get cootie juices on your dishes. And that shot glass is no longer a shot glass. It is a squirt glass. And I'm not sure if you guys want to drink squirt, but if you do, more power to you.
Remind me to tell the Sink Dick story next Thursday.
All right.
Saint Dick.
Sink Dick.
Sink Dick next Thursday. Writing that down right now.
Yeah.
All righty. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you later. See you on Thursday, and prepare for the Sink Dick. Take it easy.
Take it easy.
Fuck you and all your motherfucking friends, nigga. Give a fuck if y'all in kindergarten, I'll whoop y'all motherfucking ass. That's why Santa Claus ain't real.